Welcome back to Realms of Faroff, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I am Wade. I'm the dungeon master for the evening. I've got my friends here for some great clicky clacky math rock time and shared trauma as we go into tonight's adventure. Before we dive too deep into it, a couple of quick announcements. Number one, if you are a sub of the channel, thank you very much. Highly appreciate it. Goes to helping us add more content and cool things to look at during the stream. Also, it empowers you, the viewer, to help out the party or even help out me if you would like to. So, if you are a sub, post in the chat who you would like to give your luck and inspo to. You can give it to the players or you can give it to me so I can really fuck around with the players a little bit more throughout the evening. Number two, we are kicking off April by working in partnership with the Pale Dragon stream towards cancer research. We are helping out the American Association of Cancer Research all throughout the month of April. You will find a donation link down in the About section for the stream. Please, if you're able to, give. If you're not able to, the thought is what really matters here. We are trying to raise $1,000 throughout the month of April. I've got some great milestone bonuses, including giveaways for Dungeon Draft, as well as World Anvil, a one-shot, or even at the if we get $1,000, there'll be a random drawing for someone to be a guest appearance in this show as a special NPC that could make or break the party in some way. We'll play
and
around
Dave
with
will
that.
shave his beard.
Oh, snap! Dave will
Tito.
shave his beard.
Oh,
Take it.
Dave. I thought you said Wade.
No, I won't.
How
will.
much to have Dave in a maid costume for an entire game session?
2,500.
You all heard it here first, folks.
This can be
$2,500.
arranged.
Shaving Dave in a maid outfit.
He will shave live on stream in a maid outfit. Let's do this.
So yes, if you can give, highly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into tonight's game of Realms of Faroff. So, if you've been following the adventure up to this point, we have been slowly grinding our way towards the Solstice Gala. The adventurers have been hired to run security and protection detail for the nobleman Lord Hagrundi at his Solstice event. They have been chasing down every lead possible of things that could cause harm to the Gala. One of those major leads led them to an off branch of the Church of Gillespie towards a group known as the Star Chasers, people who attempt to elevate their lot in life. Unfortunately, conflict came between fellow worshippers and they had to break the Star Chaser organization, turning over the leader back to the church for some sort of justice to be served. They don't know quite yet what that will be. And now finally they are at the steps to the estate about 2 hours before the solstice is supposed to start. That's where we're going to pick up in tonight's game. Adventurers, what would you like to do?
I would like to point out that we have one of those fate dice back.
Which one?
The D10.
And the D8 as well, please.
D8 as well. Okay. D10. D...
High five, Katie.
All right,
Yeah,
I've only got
air
die 6 in
five.
my... Okay, D6 in my arsenal. Great. Cool. Tight. All right, now what?
Jules will come down to the main room of the morning cock. Anybody who's down there will see that he's actually wearing a very nice priestly regalia. For all of the well-fitted clothes that he's worn, you notice that this is definitely a step above and clearly would have normally been used in some sort of ceremonial type role.
I want to tell everyone when we did that, Jules, I got a horrible portent of terrible doom for what's going to happen. We should be absolutely prepared for the worst.
And you see him grab his shirt and pull it and hear his chainmail clink underneath. I know that the portent was not a good omen, but these things oftentimes mean strife and not necessarily doom. But I share your concerns. It was not a comfortable thing to watch you experience, and I am sorry if it brought undue burden to you.
Maybe it meant stripe instead of strife, and we should just avoid the fish at the gala.
I have prepared some prayers to detect any sort of poisons, so hopefully we can ensure the party's safety in that regard.
Good. Excellent thinking.
Kip
can do
comes
that
down. Kip comes downstairs dressed in a loincloth, boots, and the bearskin rug thrown over his back like a cape.
Kip, real close. It's
These
not
are-
that kind of. It is not that kind of party.
These cover all the fucking bits.
It is not that kind of party.
Oh, but it should be.
Oh, sorry. He'll take off the bearskin and fashion it into a toga, and then be like,
Still not that kind of party, Kip.
just fucking stupid. I've been waiting to wear this fucking outfit for a month.
You should have worn that outfit at the parties at the academy.
I didn't have it then.
You could wear it the whole way back to the academy.
He goes and changes into his armor. Still bringing the bearskin, though.
Thing kind of smells.
Ah! I'll go back upstairs and stow it in his room.
I mean, someone
Get
had to
dressed in
say it,
something
right?
better.
No, these are actually the nicest clothes he has. They're not like super high class, but they're silk with leather armor over it.
No, I mean better than the loincloth and bearskin.
Oh yeah. He's wearing my "It's finals and I hate my life" outfit.
I mean, you could still wear the loincloth and just wear the leather armor with it.
Oh, I'm wearing the fucking loincloth.
It's just so we know that it's there.
No, silk chafes after a wee bit.
You need to wash it more.
You should try growing scales.
I hate you both.
Well,
Anything else you all are trying to do before Grande's estate? Anywhere else you're trying to go? Again, you have. I thought we left off last game with you guys actually approaching the estate, but if you guys are at the end, still getting ready, you have about three hours ish before you need to absolutely be there last minute.
I don't have any particular preparations to make.
Nope.
I do, but they can wait until afterwards. Just stuff I want to do and don't want to take up stream time. So,
Well, I mean, if it's something that you're trying to do, say what it is that you're trying to do.
I'm going to buy a tavern.
Oh, well, okay. So that's something you are going to do after
Yeah,
the gala.
that can
is
wait
what
until
you're
after.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes way more
Assuming we
sense.
don't have to flee for our lives.
We can flee to
Alright.
the tavern and declare sanctuary.
So you all make your way across town to the North District, where the noblemen's estates are. You're easily able to find Lord Hagrandi's estate. You've been there before. You know the way there at this point. As you all approach, you can see that the house and the estate is aflutter with activity. Right now, there appear to be people in the garden who are doing some landscaping, getting things ready. You see some regular sort of serving people moving around, getting arrangements put together. You also, at the front door, you can see the captain of the guard with his mastiff. You passed him before while you were at the estate. And you also see another man fully decked out in full plate armor, bearing the sigil of the House of Varil, the imperial family, standing there with him, looking through the it appears to be a set of scrolls that he has, maybe the guest list, as they are going through it together.
Yep, manages to stop himself after taking like 3 or 4 steps towards the dog. Just like, bad idea.
Dog's just sitting there, kind of stoically looking forward at you all as you approach.
He consoles himself by patting Luna on the head.
Sense motive. Is the dog looking at us a little bit too hard?
Roll sense motive.
If it was a cat, that would make sense.
No, it could be any animal. Don't just give cats a bad name.
Let's see, 25 is a will check for Kip. Real quick, just for I guess a little bit of table etiquette. Before you guys roll something, tell me what you're trying to do before you actually roll it. That way I know why a roll is being thrown out before you tell me what you're trying to achieve. So Akko, you got a 13 on sense motive. Dog appears to be just kind of watching you all. It's only seen you once. It's on guard duty, so it's probably just doing its job as it's been trained to do it. You would assume.
Good enough. Good dog.
The captain of the house does note you all approaching, and he lifts a hand to wave you all forward. You're the Lord's heroes, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Well, this is Captain Malcolm. He points to the plate armored knight next to him. Captain Malcolm is the head of security for the prince, who will be in attendance this evening. However, while on the grounds, my orders will still stand as the Lord's orders if anything comes up that we perceive. Captain Malcolm kind of looks you all over a little bit, but doesn't say anything.
Be happy to help in any way that the crown and the Lord needs.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, I thought we might see you over the course of the last few days to talk about any arrangements that you all needed from the House Guard. But Lord Hagrandi told us that you were on other business for your contract.
Yeah, there was quite a bit going on in town.
Is there anything you wish to discuss now?
Well, at this point, all the plans have been set as far as rotations, who's going to be where, watching what. We can't change it up at the last minute at this stage. We're pretty set on.
Understandable.
Set.
Nor would we ask you to.
No.
Do you all have any questions about the arrangements for security this evening?
Who is inspecting the food?
We have a royal taster for the prince who's taken the task.
Are you aware of any threats to the gala?
None directly. Lord Hagrandi told us there were whispers of something, but that's what business you all were handling these past few days. Hopefully business has been good.
Business has been excellent.
Good. I like to hear that. Hopefully tonight we'll, at worst, have some champagne thrown in someone's face or some etiquette not followed appropriately.
One can certainly hope, but we'll be vigilant. And
Are there any areas of the house that you consider to be problem areas or gaps in your security foresight that might merit extra attention?
He pauses to think as I look over the map. We have men stationed all across the house and in the gardens. Due to where we knew most people would be, we sacrificed guards on the eastern lawn in favor of putting more guards into the western garden. No one should be in the eastern lawn, however, but we have one man there to patrol it.
Had the grounds inspected? searched, make sure that there are no hiding figures.
We did our own assessment as well as the Royal Knights did theirs.
I assume you also had a mage come through as well.
Oh, yes, Lord Hagrundi has a house mage that he employs to see to tasks across the home. Keep up the enchantments and look for anything that's odd, out of place.
So then we should probably have Kip and Luna go for a walk.
Ah,
She can do the nose thing, you can do the eyeball thing.
oh, yeah.
Sir,
Well, you
if
all
I
have
might,
free run to the house.
we were told that there was part of the house that was off limits to us previously. Has
Yes,
that been
the
changed?
no, the eastern quarters are off limits to you all as well as anything above the second floor and above. Those are still off limits to everybody.
If I may,
Except-
if I may ask you a more direct question.
Please be candid.
We have found some curiosities in regards to the guest list. What are your thoughts on some of the more unique attendants that are potentially going to be here tonight?
Personally, I don't really have too many thoughts. It seems like a very eclectic group of nobles. But aside from that, I don't really fashion myself too much into the business of things there.
Well, I mean, of those nobles, there are certainly those who come from a more outlandish background, and there are supposedly those who, as we looked at the guest list, probably would be very unusual for their attendance at such an event like this. None of that struck you as odd?
I'm not very schooled in prestige or differences in the noble ranks.
Oh, you know of the politics of the Undercity.
Yeah.
Or the policies, I should say.
Of where?
The Undersenate, my apologies.
I can't say I'm too keen to the knowledge of the Undersenate. I keep the house protected and I keep security afoot here. I'm not a schooled adventurer like yourselves who've studied the ways of history and the lore of politics. I'm a pretty simple man at the end of the day. Captain Malcolm, however, he's just sitting there kind of stoically watching this conversation. He does pipe up, however. We have taken note of the diverse nature of the attendees to this guest list. It is an odd assortment of individuals. Can't explain why some of them would want to be here. Perhaps the favor of the prince has drawn many to the open invitation of tonight's gathering.
Would
The
they have
open
known
invitation.
that he was going to be involved beforehand? Wasn't the guest list private?
Well, the prince has been speaking of his retinue and travels, as he often does.
Okay.
You might not say the prince is a very private individual.
Are there any notable figures that you are aware of or rumors that you have heard out of these open attendees that we might not be aware of that we should keep an eye on?
I mean, I can't be exactly sure of what you know versus what I know. Obviously, I think the biggest, what would be the word? The biggest surprise would be the Burrow Master's attendance. The prince has been a flutter that his presence has drawn such a reputable individual to this, frankly, small gathering of people. There's a magus who's going to be here tonight from the hold.
That's
various lords.
actually brings up a good point. The Burrowmaster. Have you? I mean, the prince travels with a ratoon. Have you heard anything in regards to the security arrangements for them? Have you heard any communications from their government and whatnot? Because we do also find it strange.
Well, for as far as the Under-Senate security, they didn't make any special requests. They don't have any notes of bringing their own guardsmen in. The Accords have their delegates coming, but it's typical for parties like this that people don't bring their own personal security. And if they do, it's merely their drivers who wait outside in case something happens.
I feel like all of my questions have been answered. If anybody else has anything.
I can't really think of anything. Anything else that we haven't already, covered somewhere else?
Lord Hagrundi has assured us that you all are appropriately licensed by the Adventuring Guild to operate. You have a standing contract with him for security here. We have taken a look at your file with the guild. We haven't found anything that is off-putting. You are allowed your weapons while at the Gala, as is your position as the hired help in this position. We will ask, at least from the Royal Guard's purview, that you do not do any open spell casting while at the party, unless there's an issue that arises that calls for you to need it to subdue somebody or stop violence before it can be visited upon someone at the party.
Also include the divine in that, or purely the arcane?
All spells. They're all capable
Understood.
of hurting people equally, despite what the hold may sometimes think.
The need to detect poisons and or potentially purify food, is that considered appropriate if it is needed?
I would tell you to limit it to the kitchen.
Okay.
We don't want to spook any of the guests, and certainly don't want to put the hackles up any higher on the security here. Our men will react quite quickly to any spellcasting that happens at this party. As I'm sure you understand, the prince's security is paramount.
So I actually have a question.
Lady?
Since a few days ago, do you know if there have been any additions or new guests added to the list? Or people who have shown up than what we were told about?
There are a couple. I believe that one of the farming lords, he fell ill, so he sent his son in his stead. We have a couple other delegates from the Accords who came, late arrivals.
Are you aware of where they are from? What part?
The farm lords.
No, those from the Accords.
No, I'm not too familiar with them, and it only received word this morning.
Further
Most
afield.
likely because the Accords was not aware that the prince was going to be in attendance, so they decided to send higher ranking servants of the queen.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Again, this is not the type of event you would typically find the prince at. So I'm sure that they're all trying to capitalize on the moment to get some time.
I trust there haven't been any new staff members within that time period either.
No, nothing has changed with the staff,
Very
says
good.
the guard captain.
So when you say farm lords, do you mean like Lord Brunson?
Katie's testing me to see if I remember the NPC names I told her about. Click. Damn it, roll 20. There's not too much on there.
He's the Lord of the House of Brunson. It's an agricultural house.
Yeah, I know.
Brunson.
I've got to click on a token here to remind myself
Okay.
of what the switch is. Yes, that is the one. That's the name of the ruling lord of the house. His son, Charles, is here in attendance instead.
Hold on. Charles Brunson and Charles Varel will be there. 2 Charleses.
It's a popular name, I suppose.
Thank you.
Do you know who we might be able to get an updated guest list from, or at least to view one?
Perhaps Miss Graves.
I will make a note to speak with her as I go to inspect the food.
You'll probably find her somewhere inside the estate, running around managing the help, getting things set up.
Is there any further support we can offer to you that we might not yet be aware of?
None that we can think of at this time.
Very well.
All right, so you guys head inside.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yes.
It is a flutter with activity of people getting things set up here. You can see Yolanda Graves. That's Grundy's basically personal assistant that you all met. She's the one who's the contact for the contract. She's inside next to the main fountain, directing people around and telling them where to go and what to set up and criticizing things and telling them to do better and stuff like that.
Miss Graves?
Oh, yes. She turns around.
Good. It's good to see you again. How goes your labor?
Furiously as we get everything into place.
Understandable. I understand there have been some additions to the guest list.
Yes. We had a change for a son to step in for his father from one of the southern lands, and then we have a couple extra people from the Accords who are coming.
Do you know who the individuals from the Accords might be?
Let's see. She kind of goes through her clipboard of parchments. Let's see. There would be. I don't know if I'm saying Aliandra Vanesh. And she has 2 escorts with her. Qualin Vanesh and Letalor Pitch.
Nobody.
Do I know
Knowledge,
either of those
ability?
people?
You don't know them offhand, Fee, but you all can roll nobility.
I don't
Knowledge and
have that
ability.
shit.
I would. Can I also roll my bardic knowledge?
You absolutely can.
Alara knows nothing.
Fucking kidding me?
All right, let's take a look here.
Blindsided.
We've got a 14, a 7, an 8, and a 9 for Bardic, 15 for Kip, 15 for Imnos. All right. First off, Jules, as far as your cloister cleric knowledge comes back to you, you haven't read anything that sparks a remembering of these people. They probably haven't done anything important enough for you to know about, as far as you're concerned. Kip and Imnos, you are both familiar with the Vanesh house. They are one of the great 5 houses of the Accords, which means that they are a house that has an ancestor elder that is still alive. An ancestor elder is an elf that has been alive since the beginning of time, since the first elves were created in the Age of Dreams. This is someone who has probably lived so many years that they don't even remember how old they are at this point, and there's no recorded way of knowing how old they are either, other than really fucking old.
They've literally always been there.
Always been there. They have forgotten more than people can remember at this stage in their lives. Other than that, you really don't know anything about the Vinesh house, other than they have great prestige because of being an ancestral house.
I will quickly and succinctly convey that to the party as a recollection.
That is good to know. Miss Graves, is there any assistance that we may be able to provide to you?
Oh, right now it's just about getting arrangements put in place, making sure all the orders are delivered through the back expediently, that all the cooks are working, small trivial things compared to what you all deal with. Lord Hagrundi is getting ready with his wife currently, but is there any news that I can pass along to him on the things that you all have been doing?
I'll look to Alara.
Actually, we have some questions for you. Are you familiar with a man by the name of Munkter?
Munkter. No, I can't say I'm familiar with that name.
It was an
Can I-
old house.
Can I roll a sense motive to that?
Yeah, I'm
You
curious
can,
about
yes.
her reaction.
Yep.
You mind if I do so as well, Wade?
Yeah, you're all standing there having this conversation.
I'm gonna roll to assist Katie.
What is
No, I'm not.
What is the appropriate role again?
Sense motive.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I was looking for the right one.
Let's see, we got 20 for Imnos, 18 for Alara, 24 for Fee, 16 for Jules. As far as you all can tell, she seems pretty focused on the events that are going on around her. She seems a little surprised that you all are asking her questions about who she may or may not know, but she also seems like there's so much going on right now that she probably didn't have enough time to come up with a lie if she were lying to you. She seems genuine in this moment.
The name itself doesn't seem to rattle her or anything.
No, she seems rattled by everything that's going on right now, getting this party up and going. It doesn't add any extra anxiety to her that you notice.
She's too distracted to be creative to lie.
Yep.
Pretty much. That's how you feel.
And that's what I was hoping for. Thank you.
He was a captain of a house guard. Recently lost his position or his role. You haven't heard anything, Matt, such as that?
Well, a house guard, or you said a captain of a house guard?
I believe so. He was a sort of leader of a guard group and recently lost said role. I believe he was working for a noble house.
If he was a captain of a house, that would be a bit of news I might hear. But the name Munkter, I don't really recall. If he was just another guard, I mean, I'm not going to hear about that. It doesn't make its way to me.
Definitely a captain.
Have any
I
of
mean, it
your
also
house
depends
guard...
on. I'm sorry, what?
I was going to ask if any of your house guard have been dismissed in the last few years.
Well, I don't know about few years. I've only been working with Lord Hagrundi for the last 6 months.
I see.
Where is the good Lord?
He's upstairs with his family getting ready. I'm afraid you may not have time to see him before the events unless it's something terribly pressing. I can try to pull him away from his business. I believe he's entertaining the prince currently.
It's a shame that we cannot go up and join them to speak.
Kip will mutter in Draconic, someone should ask about the drow boy.
Is your throat feeling okay, Kip?
It's a wee bit sore.
I'll mix up some
I'll
food for you.
I'll mutter back. Are you asking if we should be asking her, or if we should mention it to someone else? I feel like we should mention it to someone else.
Like
he
the
was
kitchens.
he was a patron, which means someone contacted him to have a third party to make it harder to trace back to the source.
If you all don't need me for this conversation, there's still a lot of work I need to get done. As you
Yes,
guys are talking in a
absolutely.
foreign language in front of her.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll avoid getting underfoot. Thank you for your
Yes,
time.
thank you.
Excellent. She moves away.
Hiss,
If we
hiss,
need to
growl,
sp- if-
growl.
If we need to speak with her further, we can find her. But I think we should check the kitchens first.
Yeah, she's super easy to find at any point while you guys are in the house.
Hey, wait.
We don't know if... Oh, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, go ahead, Kip.
Kip's gonna quick commune with this raven and see if the quest that he sent it on last session actually resulted in anything.
Yeah, I believe you sent him off to find the boy, right? The drow boy?
To search the grounds for the boy, yeah.
Yeah, so you know that your familiar's been in this area flying around. Took a brief sleep because he got tired.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, but otherwise hasn't reported any feelings to you about noticing the boy on the grounds or near the grounds as far as he can tell.
Okay. I'll beckon it back just so it can be in touch with me, so I can re-up my invocation so it has some use of them for the day.
Do you want him to just stick around with you, or do you send him back off to continue sort of eye in the sky?
He is free to do what he wants.
He does not have that luxury in life. He is a familiar who obeys the commands of his master.
That's
If he's got a
fair.
higher perception than you, you should probably keep him on your shoulder.
Just find someplace high up to perch and keep an eye on things. Let me know if you see anything interesting.
Okay. He flutters off.
I'll point out, Kip, that while the Drow Child was a patron of the Star Chasers, it doesn't necessarily mean that he was working for a third party. He wanted to get into this party himself, according to Munkter. So it's entirely possible that he was working, if not on his own, for his own purposes. We don't know how many accomplices he has, but he may well be the active party in question.
Possibly. It just seems like a lofty goal for a lad.
I mean, it's probably not actually a child.
That's also possible.
I mean, I could be a drow child right now if I really wanted to be. Somebody dare me. Go ahead.
I dare you to be a drow child right now.
Okay, we're gonna need to step away from preparation areas on account
Save
of they
it.
told us not to like cast anything
Wait,
in the middle
no,
of.
hold on. Perhaps if someone sees someone different with us, someone they might recognize like this child, we might get a different reaction out of people.
Fortunately, the
Actually,
only one
do-
who's seen them is Kip.
I actually do agree with Laura. There is a chance that somebody might expose themselves should they see who they perceive to be a contact.
Aye.
I don't think I want anybody exposing themselves to me if I'm a drow child.
I wasn't going to make that joke given that you were. Somebody might reveal themselves.
But that is a good point. I think I do believe that Kip was the only person to see this child.
Yeah, so
You're
I'd be a different child.
But a drow
Also,
is
don't have the clothes
not.
for that.
A drow is not as common a race up here.
No, they are not.
Though that assumes that there's a contact here to meet with. We don't know that.
Not even
That-
necessarily a contact to meet with, but someone who recognizes the child.
Well, again, that we
It's-
can't do.
It is a lure,
Yeah.
if you will.
We should
But
be
yes.
careful of assuming agendas at this point. We do not have enough information.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
you never
that-
want to assume someone's agenda.
God damn it.
You're fired.
Jules takes his quarterstaff that he's been using as a walking stick, and Akko, you feel him tap it very hard on the top of your foot.
Ow.
Hip starts walking off towards the kitchens before he says something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
follow.
Okay.
No food.
Jules will go
You
as well.
all,
Mhm.
you all will make your way there. Brief note. Thank you, Pale Dragon. Kip, you get both another luck coin and an inspo for the remainder of the evening.
Yes.
You are a lucky bastard tonight.
Shatter machine.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So you all make your way to the kitchen area. There appear to be 4 people that are primarily leading things going on here. Every now and then someone else comes in just to like deliver a crate back into the pantry, or one of the house servants comes in to like grab a quick glass of water or something to eat real fast. But there are 4 primary chefs in here prepping food, getting things ready for tonight, stirring, fluffing whip, and all that other stuff that cooks do that I don't understand or am capable of in real life.
Baking is like alchemy, though.
Just like alchemy.
No,
I hear baking's like alchemy.
it is not.
It is when you add gunpowder.
Wait, what?
Wait,
mean-
everywhere we go, I'm basically acting like a damn radar dish, just panning my head side to side, seeing if I spot anybody in invisibility.
Okay, give me perception.
Can I not?
Stop
I
sucking.
mean, if you want to see them, you have to roll perception.
I mean, you do have 2 luck rerolls.
It's not a class skill for me.
And
And
your
I
roll
only
isn't going to
get-
be very good.
I only get 2 skill points a level.
I mean, 16 is a decent roll. It's not like
That's
it's
true.
especially at these levels. You guys aren't like epic level where you have to roll 2012.
And I'm
to see
also
something.
assuming most people using invisibility probably aren't going to be actively hiding at the same time. Hopefully.
Usually they don't. Usually, if you can cast invisibility, your other skill set isn't also hiding from things. Like they don't usually pair together. Usually, as far as for right now, you scan the kitchen. You don't see any invisible intruders in the kitchen. You just see a bunch of people working very hard on a lot of dishes for the evening.
I'm also going to break a rule, Wade.
Which one?
I'm gonna walk about 10 feet away from the party, and
Okay.
then do the same sweep with detect magic, which
Okay.
isn't technically casting a spell. So
I mean, your invocations are still spells. You still have verbal and somatic components, right?
it's not technically casting a spell.
I mean,
They're
it's
spell-like abilities, so they don't have components.
They also
Basically.
did tell us that we could use magic in the kitchens for necessity.
They
Also,
did. They
didn't
did
he
say
say-
the kitchens were okay?
Didn't they say obvious use of magic? Like
That's correct.
that's not super obvious.
I mean,
Um,
if I
Yeah,
And the
you-
gala
real
hasn't
quick.
started yet.
Real quick, Kip, does your detect magic have verbal and somatic components?
I don't believe so because it's a spell-like ability granted by a class ability, but I will double check for you.
Okay. We'll
if it
go
is
for right now.
specifically an SLA, it does not.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if it's an SLA, I don't believe it does either. So for right now, we're going to go until Wonder tells me differently that it doesn't have it. So his is not a very obvious, like his most obvious sign of doing it is that his eyes light up for a moment.
It says that I cast it like this as per the spell at will.
But they are all invocations are spell-like abilities, just by
Yes.
nature of how invocations work.
Yeah, that's how meta magic works with
Um,
mine. Yeah.
So your
Wait.
eyes light up. That's your give. Yes, Dave.
Okay.
I would like to use either profession herbalist or knowledge nature to inspect the ingredients, making sure that there's nothing that's been snuck in that could be toxic.
Either one would be appropriate for you to roll. So just choose which one you want to roll and go with that. Kip, go back real fast as you cast detect magic. You see that there's some light spells, some like fairy light type spells that are on the ceiling, leading through the hallways to keep everything aglow and sort of mood lighting. You see that there's sort of general wards throughout the estate that you've already taken note of. there's nothing new that you haven't seen yet to this point.
Yep.
Jules, so we got a 14 for your herbalist check. None of the things that you're seeing out on the cooking stations makes you feel uncomfortable. These are all typical spices, typical ingredients. They're not cooking fugu or anything like that. So you feel pretty confident that everything's on the up and up from what you can see.
Okay.
The cooks do give you guys breadth of room. Obviously, the staff has been made alert to the fact that there are adventurers walking around as part of security. So they don't say, "What are you doing?" They just immediately get out of your all's way.
Is there any of them that looked at like they might especially be avoiding us, or somebody trying to
make a sense motive check?
Okay.
No one jumps out at you.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the map, but there's a back door from the kitchen that leads out to a back area in there.
Let me grab it here real fast. I would switch you guys over the map, but I've already got populated with all the Gala NPCs, so I don't want to give it away just yet.
Right.
There is a way through the pantry to go into the back of the estate where the wishing well is, and then further behind that is the outdoor delivery area.
Okay. I was say if we were right on the delivery area, it's gonna do something, but not from here.
I mean, from the kitchen, it's like 40 feet roughly.
Is there a place where the currently prepared food is being kept?
Here on shelves, it's stacked up.
Okay.
Yeah, close to the hearth of the fire to keep it warm.
Is there anybody who looks like they're managing the kitchen?
Yeah. There appears to be like an executive chef there that's pretty much telling all the lesser cooks what to do and when to do it and stuff like that.
Without getting in their way, I'll yell, "Chef."
Yes, how can I help you?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes, I will be traveling around. If you wouldn't mind, could you make sure that I am retrieved before the first dishes go out to the gala?
Why, of course. We are going to have the royal taste out here later. Would you like to be in the same presence?
Please, before any dishes go out.
We will make sure you are summoned for the tasting.
Thank you.
I also have a question, Chef. What is the menu for tonight?
It is an 8-course meal. We will have various appetizers, snails, caviar, and various finger foods, as some people like to say. We'll be moving into a soup and salad rotation after that. We have a beautiful raspberry salad prepared for this evening. Soup of the evening is what did you call that, Michael? And one of the cooks turns out it's called loaded potato soup. Loaded. It's got bacon and chive. It's delicious. I know you guys haven't really had it in these kinds of estates, but trust me, it's fucking good.
Awesome.
He turns and goes back to work. Then from there, we will have the third course. That is going to be a traditional palate cleanser, a light coffee ground and coated tilapia. And then we will be moving into the main course meal, a fine brisket prepared for the evening, with capers and a asparagus wrap. And then from there, we'll be moving into 3 courses of dessert, as the noblemen have quite the sweet tooth.
And every one of the guests will be having the same meal.
Throughout the evening, yes. They will not be doing a grand dining hall this evening. They are going to make sure to allow people to eat as they please, as it were. It makes this whole thing a scheduling nightmare for me.
So it's a buffet.
Yes,
it's a very fancy buffet. Fancy buffet.
Yes, I suppose you could call it that. Not that I will, but yes, that is the words for it.
And no guests have dietary restrictions for whatever reasons. that you have been
Um,
made aware of?
Not that anyone has told us. If there
Okay.
is someone who cannot eat what we have prepared, we could throw something together quickly.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, of course. And he turns and starts yelling at people.
I look at everyone. So it's a buffet. Checking food now isn't gonna help shit because everyone will have access to that food.
Yes, that is gravely concerning to me.
It might be worth having at least one of us
Guard the
stationed-
food table?
Yes.
We may also want to bring this to the attention of the Royal Guard, whether they are cognizant. If not, they might not have realized the threat.
I would assume they're aware of it because if it was a sit-down meal, they probably would have consulted with the prince regarding seating arrangements or seating preferences. But you're correct.
Royal Taster would have to eat. Feels like there's little that we can do, but wait.
I mean, yes, that is definitely a watch situation, but is it peculiar to anyone else that this is a grand gala that wasn't supposed to be this grand, and then suddenly it has a buffet instead of plated meals?
I'm going to slowly usher us out of the kitchen as we start talking about the food and everything. in front of
Well,
the chef.
yeah, but they didn't make that decision. Well, yes, I figured we were walking. I'm sorry.
The executive chef does give you guys a couple dirty looks as you keep saying buffet. Like, he clearly does not like it.
I didn't call it butt fat. It's fine.
Buffet.
But you guys move out into the hallway.
Could we possibly go towards the gardens?
Absolutely.
Good place to commune, if any.
Yeah, you guys make your way across the estate out the western side into the gardens. There are 2 people currently outside manicuring the entire place, making sure all the rose bushes look just perfect. You see a guy with clippers on the lawn as he's cutting it to make sure it's all precisely the way that it was tailored to be. Yeah. You also, I should mention at this point, as you guys move outside, as you guys exit the door, you start hearing some noises of activity. Like people going, hip, hiya! To backflip there. Perfect. You nailed it. Stuck it. Perfect.
There's
As you
fucking
guys-
acrobats.
As you guys walk outside, you see what appears to be a troop of 5 people that are currently running acrobatic drills with each other in the garden area. Sort of like flipping over each other and landing next to each other and doing some dances, it seems like, with each other, things like that. Some are tuning their instruments. You would probably assume it's a bardic troupe of some type.
I'm gonna wait since I spent a fair amount of time in this garden kind of relaxing and praying and doing my thing. I'm just gonna walk the perimeter of the garden and see if there's anything that sticks out as noticeably different outside of just general pruning.
Sure, give me a perception check, and I'll give you a +2 to the roll since you are familiar with the garden from your time in there.
Jesus.
Okay, so 15 total.
Yeah.
You walk the full perimeter of the garden. Nothing sticks out at you as different. It all appears to be pretty much the same as the way you left it, other than the upkeep that's been done. You don't see any breaks in the wall. There's nothing that's suspiciously leaning over the wall that could be used as like a kip up or anything like that.
No
There's
disturbed earth beyond, plants being moved.
Nope, nothing appears dead and then packed back over somewhere. There's no sod that's like flipped over the wrong way or anything like that. It looks normal.
Is there still a gazebo?
There is, in fact, still a gazebo. That's where the Bardic Troop is currently doing their drills.
Inside of it or around it?
Both. There's 5 people. 3 of them are currently practicing acrobatic drills. Sort of, they seem to be almost doing parkour across the gazebo and on top of the gazebo and around each other. And then there's 2 people sitting inside the gazebo that are currently tuning instruments.
I'm going to look for a bench and I'm going to sit down. And
Yeah,
relax.
easy enough to do.
I'm gonna monitor the gazebo so it doesn't get anyone.
Is anyone else looking to do anything until the party officially kicks off?
Akko wants to wander back to that the delivery area and just make a pass through and just kind of perception around. Do I feel anything that shouldn't be there?
Give me a perception roll. $13. Nothing immediately comes to mind as you're looking around here. There's one guard out back here. There's currently a wagon pulled up with another man who's unloading some supplies. You take a moment. He looks through the supplies to make sure everything is sort of on the up and up and the delivery is correct. But it all seems to be in good order.
I'm gonna take a page from Kif's book and detect magic on the cart.
No magic.
And then that's it. Let's go back here to me.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything you want to do? Emnos?
I think Emnos will mostly watch the acrobatic troupe. That seems like an entertaining diversion for the time being.
Yeah, they are incredibly entertaining to watch. They're laughing and cracking jokes with each other, but they don't try to engage you all. It's clear that they are really focused on what they're doing to get ready, and either they don't want to disturb their routine, or they have been told not to talk to you. So far, no one has tried to talk to you. You've passed several people
Sure.
walking through the estate.
I won't disrupt their practice. I'm just checking it out from afar.
Okay. Alara?
I'm gonna stand with Imnos.
All
Just-
right.
Try to distract myself for a little while.
Jules is studying everybody who walks by, but playing up the tired old man trope.
Okay. Kip?
Nothing.
Fee, anything else besides walking around the garden?
Yeah, I'm going. So once I walk the perimeter, I'm basically going to find the most natural area I can in a manicured garden and sit and start basically praying and doing my green nature or green faith bullshit.
Okay. Probably the most secluded part of this garden is on the southern side of the garden. There is a spiral walkway that leads into sort of this hedged-in area. It's still easy enough to see through the trellises that make up the hedging, but it's probably the most private of the locations that are there. You take a moment to just appreciate the natural beauty that you can get, this small sliver of it, considering how devoid the rest of the city has been, providing you any sort of green at all. It feels good to get back here after walking through cobblestone streets and stone and buildings, and not seeing a tree for pretty much the last 3 days. All right, we are going to fast forward a little bit here. We are going to move into the gala having kicked off. Guests have arrived at this stage. The place is starting to fill up. I'm going to move us over to the map with a fully populated Hagrundi estate.
Man, I'm so looking forward to seeing the Corgi-kin again.
You all will see your tokens at the bottom middle-ish area of the map. Let me know if anyone does not have vision.
There we
I
are.
mean, I have no vision for the future, but
You all have free reign of the house except for the second floor and the eastern quarters.
Come on, dog. You have to keep up with me.
oh yeah, can I before we've moved in here at some point while we're walking around looking at stuff, can I put mage armor up?
Sure. Easy enough to pop into the bathroom and cast mage armor on yourself.
Yeah.
Are these nobles? No, never mind. That was a different city. Never mind.
Wait, are these guests that are here? Or are they?
Yes, everyone that you see is a guest or one of the guardsmen. The guardsmen should be pretty easy for you guys to spot. They're the spearmen tokens. There shouldn't be any non-guest spearman tokens. But everybody else should be a guest. Or labeled because you know who they are already.
Hey, Wade,
Yes.
do I recognize these two? Because I know for a fact I've seen their tokens.
You have in fact seen those tokens before, but you do not recognize those two gentlemen. They are recycled tokens.
Damn it.
I recognize a
tokens are
token, but
recycled.
not from this game.
That is fully possible also. I did grab a very large swath of images off Google to use as my tokens for this,
Oh
because I
no,
needed a
perfectly
lot.
legit.
Wade,
Yes.
because I actually know who this person is, can you tell me which one is Geneva Rosestone?
Oh, sure. Give me 1 second. Let me find her on the map. Geneva, where are you, Geneva? There she is. All right, let me see. And nameplate. There you go. She's in the main ballroom.
Thank you.
So, as you all have people entering in throughout the beginning part of the evening, the bardic troupe that you all saw practicing, 3 of them move into the main ballroom. I'm going to, that's these 3 right here in the ballroom for those of you who have vision into that area. And then there are still 2 more that stay out in the gazebo. Right now, all of them are just playing music for atmosphere during the event.
Wade,
Yes.
before we continue on with the event, is it okay if we have a moment where we as a party can maybe talk about strategy of how we're going to approach this?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you guys have all the time in the world. It's easy enough for you guys to sort of pull each other aside and talk also.
Let's all meet in
Excellent.
this bathroom over here.
Okay.
Wait,
Please don't make me move my token again.
wait.
Because I'm just gonna go back to where I was.
That's fine. So who wants to keep an eye on the food table when it arrives?
What, you mean the buffet?
Yes.
I do love a good buffet.
I don't think it should be me.
I don't think it should be Akko. I don't, Akko, I say this with no insults, but like true sincerity. I don't trust you around the food.
That's fair. I was about to say I wouldn't trust me around the food either. We have a job to do, but that food looks very good.
Exactly.
I'm having trouble weighing the gold versus the food right now.
You should have seen what he did to the food back at the academy.
I feel that
Loaded
it
baked
is-
potato.
I feel that it is likely that my talents will be best employed rubbing elbows, as it were.
I know mine will be. I also can't tell if food has been tainted or not.
But isn't that explicitly what we were told not to do?
Rub elbows, yes.
Well, not
Yeah,
necessarily rubbing elbows, but keeping an eye on nobles and keeping an eye on the floor
In
is something I am better at than knowing if food has been tainted.
So real fast. I'm sorry, Dave.
Sure.
Just to make sure I express this properly, you were told not to cause a scene unless you were trying to like stop something. You're not there to interrogate guests, but you are allowed to interact with the guests. So if you're just having casual
alright.
conversations with them,
Oh,
Hagrundi is absolutely okay with that. But if you're like
Okay.
trying to like
Okay.
grill them about shit, he doesn't like that.
'cause I
Initially,
thought he
okay.
told us not to talk to the guests.
yeah,
Unless
initially
they like
you said
approached us.
you said
I-
seen and not heard originally.
I
Yeah.
apologize if that's the way I came across. That is not what I meant to say. So that's my bad.
No
I would
worries.
say, in my experience, more often than not, nobles have a certain romanticism for adventuring types, and even should we try to be seen and not heard, it is unlikely we could be successful at their own engagement.
Oh, and I guess since you and Alara are a pair now, you can
Oh,
fulfill
God.
those romanticized notions.
Didn't he specifically ask you to stop making that joke?
I don't remember what happened yesterday.
It is a purely religious.
It's a religious
Connection.
partnership.
Yes. On that note, while I do share your concerns of the ability to monitor food, the aspect of it being a buffet really hampers the effectiveness we might have at that. I would even go so far as to say the prayers I prepared for it will actually be better saved, heaven forbid, should somebody become poisoned, as opposed to actually finding it in the food as a whole. It's only a momentary glimpse into the nature of the ingredients. It's not long-lasting.
I have an idea for that then. Kip.
Hmm?
Does is your bird intelligent enough to recognize if somebody has poisoned the food, or is he just gonna be like, oh, somebody touched the food?
Debatable. He's smarter than most half orcs, but he's also an asshole.
That's fair. You could ask him, and we could bribe him.
He can understand you.
Kip,
I mean, is he here?
Kip, you get a feeling from your bird.
Okay.
It's kind of like a feeling that he's sent to you in the past, where it feels like he has spotted a juicy worm that he wants to pluck out of a field. It feels like he has found something, and he's expressing that emotively to you through your empathic bond that you have with him.
Okay. I'm going to try to indicate to him that he should make some noise so I can find him.
With where you all are, it would be very difficult for you to hear him if he's outside.
Okay, I'm gonna exit. Kip will just say, "Speak of the devil," and run outside.
He will flutter down to your shoulder. He's like, boy, found boy. Garden.
Show him.
And he starts looking towards the south side of the garden.
Towards right around here.
The part that I was praying in?
You're in the north side, I think.
Now she
I
is.
am now. When I
Okay.
was praying, I was in the south side.
I'll duck back inside. I may have found the lad.
And we should join you out there, although I don't. I'm laughing at Kip sticking his head in through the latrine's window.
Yeah,
there-
let's go look at that.
It let me through the wall. I assumed it was an exit.
It's a
Maybe we can
window.
walk and talk at the same time.
Okay,
Is there
I
any
went
place that
way.
somebody would feel more comfortable or more useful? As in, like, I already know I am probably going to be the most useful being in the garden.
I think that's fantastic because we need someone out there. I will be more useful out in the ballroom.
My plan is primarily to keep an eye
I'm
on the
used to
prince.
those.
How high are the walls, Wade?
The exterior walls,
Yeah.
15 feet.
Are they spiked?
No.
I think Akko is most useful probably in the halls and not near the food or near guests that look particularly delicious.
Boy.
Just look at Akko like I know you're gonna try to eat someone.
I'm going to.
I haven't quite gotten there yet.
I'm going to put my hand on Alara's shoulder and say, I'm going to remain inside just in case this is a distraction.
Okay.
Boy is in the middle of the spiral.
All right.
With that, looks like. Can I see them or are the hedges too tall, Wade?
You can make them out, kind of. They have some obscurement due to the trellising and the hedges.
Looks like
But you can
several
make
others.
out rough.
I'm gonna plot myself on the path. Might be best that you and Imnos do the talking.
So we don't want to. So are we not going to look at the stuff with the boy first?
That's where I'm sending you. He's in the
Oh.
middle of the spiral.
Oh, that spiral. I was.
Are we all just walking right past like a cat person and a bunny person?
For
Yeah.
now.
This is not. It's not the priorities of this party.
I mean,
I think
neither
now we
of them
should
are
go
that our
Corky Kid.
priorities are not the same in this group. We are not a monolith.
Akko's just gonna hang out under this tree over here. He's not gonna follow everybody up the path.
Okay.
I'm staying right here.
Hey, Imnos.
Hmm.
Imnos.
Yeah.
Want to play a game with me?
I'm listening.
Wait, I'll grab Imnos by the shoulder
Okay.
or by the elbow. Sorry, like he's escorting me.
Okay.
It's called Make It Look Like We're Flirting and Trying to Get a Word Alone, and that way we can walk up and then turn around.
Clever. Very well.
That way we at least can get a look. All right. Wait, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. I want you both to give me a bluff check, please.
Sure.
That sounds like a thing.
With advantage. Wrong edition.
No.
Yeah. That's not very good.
Oh, mine's worse.
I'm not seeing yours, Imnos.
Oh, mine's so bad.
I accidentally sent it to GM.
Oh, let me switch over my GM screen. Oh, there it is. All right. Stellar.
Oh,
Alright,
this is so
let me,
bad.
Let me roll some things here real fast for the 4 people.
Oh,
Yes, this way, darling. There we
You
go.
guys are
That's-
gonna
that's
bluff
Yes.
that
good
bad.
enough.
let
it's-
us try to find a place where we can be alone, away from the prying eyes
You
of
guys
others.
don't have to roll terrible bluff checks if you actually start making out. I'm just saying.
Maybe we're
Alright.
bad at making out. You don't know.
So y'all are approaching around.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically until we like see people, and then basically trying to do the, oops, we didn't think there was anybody here. Our bad. We're just gonna scamper away.
Yes,
Okay.
your wolf can watch.
So
So-
as you, Luna loves to watch. So as you all are walking through the spiral, sort of talking out loud about what you're looking to do, you do hear the other voices of the 4 people on the inner portion of the spiral, They're having a conversation in a language. Do any of you, or do either of you two speak Dwarvish?
Yes. I do.
Check.
All right.
If that's
That
the
was
case, then
somewhere.
I'll wait. If that's the case, then I'll kind of like, if there's a place that we can stop and listen and not break line of sight, then I'd probably do that first, unless it's too late.
Okay, no, I mean, you guys would probably hear them right about here-ish,
Okay.
is where you would
Then
first start hearing their voices.
Then I'll, if Imnos doesn't speak Dorvis, I'll
Yeah.
basically like plant my feet.
And I'll stop when she does.
Okay. Are you all, so you're trying to stealthily listen in on the conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me stealth checks, because while there is obscurement, there still is the ability to see through these trellis bushes. It does very much help you, but they can see through. Well, Imnos is a fucking shadow.
Sorry, I have to.
Imnos becomes a trellis.
Basically.
Turns into a rose bush.
Which is actually perfect for Fee.
All right, so together, Imnos' great stealth will help very much.
Oh, thank God!
You guys are doing this as a team.
Excellent.
They do not seem to immediately notice you all there, as they continue having their conversation. Right now, I'm not going to give you guys a word-for-word interaction of 4 different people having a conversation, because I'm going to break my brain trying to do that. But the gist of their conversation is these two right here, so this guy and this girl, they are having a conversation with this man. They are having a conversation about trade between houses, specifically trade involving fine jewelry craft. So pendants, brooches, using rubies, sapphires, extremely wealthy and opulent items. They're talking about what they can provide to the man and what they would expect in return. You do clearly see the Drow Boy, though you two, I don't believe, ever actually saw the Drow Boy to begin with.
Correct.
Back at the Star Chasers, but you do see a Drow Boy here.
Right, and
Kip
did tell us that he was here.
Yeah, Kip told you that he was here, so you knew to expect a Drow Boy. You just don't know if it's the same Drow Boy because you never saw the original. But this current Drow Boy is sitting at the bottom of this statue in the middle of the spiral, and he is just sort of playing with a little wooden horsey as he's just sitting there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Is he wearing any like house colors that would make him look like he's a servant or a page or anything like that?
Give me perception. It's kind of hard to make out certain things. It is starting to get a little bit dusky. The lights are kind of coming on for the fairy lights.
I do have low light vision.
Okay. So it'll be easier for you. I won't apply any negative modifiers. Okay. You would guess based on what he's wearing, along with the 2 people that he seems to be with. It seems like he's with the Dwarven couple. He's probably wearing some colors to represent that he is a member of a house from the Under Senate.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna tug on Imnos's elbow and just kind of nod that we should go back where we came from.
I'll nod in response.
Jules, let's switch over to you. What are you doing? You're in the grand ballroom. The people are laughing, sharing drinks, talking with each other. There's a lot of activity happening. You clearly see the Crown Prince at the head table with 2 other people. What are you up to? What's happening?
I'm just pretty much strolling, very casually, walking around the party, trying not to bring too much attention to myself, but making my way around the room. The other part of what I'm doing is anytime I really get a chance, I will stop in front of this window and look outside and kind of take in the garden and whatnot, but not really engaging with anyone.
Okay. You see your friends out there through the windows. They're very easy to see for you, as light is spilling from the ballroom out into the garden. But otherwise, give me a perception check, please.
13.
All right, 13. So, as you're looking around at the guests and trying to spot anything that's shifty or wrong, you actually think back a little bit and you realize that your eyesight was actually correct the first time when you looked at these two people right here.
Okay.
You recognize the housecarl Jory, who served the Thane in the fort that you all had your first adventure in. That's where you recognize him from.
I will make my way over slowly. Do they seem to recognize me at all?
No, they didn't have too much interaction with you specifically. They had a lot more interaction with Alara and with Akko, I believe. So they look at you. You see their eyes sort of stop for a moment as they look you over, but then it kind of moves past you as they continue having the conversation they are with themselves.
Okay. I won't necessarily engage with them, but I'll make a note that they're here, and that's a little strange.
Okay.
Is the buffet? Is there food being served yet?
No, food is not current. Drinks are being served, but not food currently.
I will attempt to find a non-alcoholic beverage to sip on while I sit back and watch the party.
Easy enough to do. Yeah. All right, back to the party. What are y'all up to?
I'm gonna fill in Kip and Alara. So the drow boy is there. He appears to be traveling with a dwarven couple. They are in that circle discussing with another individual about jewelry trade. Trade in fine stones and metals and whatnot. He is wearing the colors of some what look like they might be some household in the Under Senate. So he is not, as far as I can tell, some street urchin, Kip.
Kip, can you take a look and confirm that he was the same boy you saw?
Wade, I checked line of sight. Is that clear enough for me to see him?
Yeah, you can see through the trellises of the bushes. It does add some obscurement, but you take a moment to just kind of pierce right towards them. Looks exactly like the boy that you saw in the Star Chasers.
I'm gonna detect magic towards that group.
Okay. Let's see. All of them have magic on them. The man right here has the most. He has a couple magical items, an amulet and a belt, as well as a magical aura around him. The two dwarves are carrying a couple of magical items each, and the boy's wooden horse is magical.
Spellcraft?
On what specifically?
Each in turn.
I mean, you're going to find various abjuration. The old man, he's got an evocation item on him, on his belt. Some evocation spells attached to it. The older dwarven man, he's got a glove that has divination on it.
A horse.
The wooden horse.
The wooden horse has illusion on it.
Hmm.
That's
That's a thing.
I convey that to the party. I'll lower my voice though.
You four, give me perception checks real fast, please.
Sure.
Third.
21, 11, 16, 24. All right. Imnos and Fee, you are the only two that notice this. The Catwoman, just a little bit away from you all as you all are having this conversation, you can see her ear is pointed towards your group as you all are talking amongst yourselves.
I'll look over
Her
at
body is
then-
turned to the smaller cat person that's next to her, because that is another cat person that's not a bunny person. They're facing each other, but her ear is clearly turned and right towards your group.
I have a question. Did Kip actually go pss, 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 pss?
No, I did not.
Oh, thank God, because I was gonna punch you.
Great question.
I'll look over at her, then sort of look sidelong to Fee.
So what do the two cat people look like?
Okay, great question. So this cat person right here, she appears to be the older of the two. She has a more jaguar coloration to her fur. She's wearing what you might call, like when you look at Alara is wearing more of a higher class set of armor, because it also has like fineries to it in some way. Her armor that she's wearing, because as you look closer, she is wearing armor, but it's made to blend with the dressing that she's wearing. She doesn't appear to have any weapons on her, however, she is wearing armor. The smaller one has more of the coloration of what you might know in the real world is like a snow leopard. White with some black splotches here and there. He is, it's a he. He is wearing a very nice set of noble garments, darker colors that seem to make his fur pop a little bit more.
So they definitely look like nobility.
You're muted.
You're
Wait.
muted.
Yes, they at least had the wealth to look like nobility. What they're wearing can't be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Is our business done with this conversation, Kip?
Hey.
Would you care to escort me to the other side of the garden?
Hey.
I believe that I have some greetings to make to my friend. Wait, as I walk past them, I'm just going to give like the courtier's nod.
The woman looks back to you and catches your eye and gives you a small, subtle nod back.
Okay.
I'm gonna indicate to my Raven that he's been doing great work and to keep an eye on the boy.
He flutters away.
Wait, are these guests or acrobats?
Those are the bardic troupe. They are in there. One is currently playing on a lute, while another one's doing some harmonic singing to kind of go along with it.
Okay. All six or the ones on the side?
So there's two on the front, two on the back. Those are guests. And actually, Kip, now that Fee is taking a moment to look at who's on the gazebo, you take a moment to look at the gazebo also, and you recognize one of the men that's on the gazebo. Now that you're getting a good plain look at him,
I was going to ask about the orange-haired one.
You recognize, fill the nameplate, You recognize this gentleman.
Well, there you
I
go.
recognize. I've met him too. Wait.
That's true. You do recognize. You all recognize Warden Dunkel. Now that you're taking a good close look, he's had his back kind of turned to you all. You guys knew there was a whole person there, but he's talking to this other man with a kind of like a shorter goatee, who's not wearing the black robes of the Warden, but he is wearing some more pristine magic-oriented type robes. It's very clear the way they flow. It's someone who's a magician of some type.
Hey, Wade.
Yes.
I'm going to do an intrigue.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm going to bump into Warden Dunkel.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Just kind of accidentally shoulder bump him, and then I'm going to roll a bluff check.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So easy enough to bump shoulders.
And then using my bluff check, I'm just going to silently communicate with him. I see you, you see me, and just apologize hastily. Oh, dreadfully sorry, sir. I had a bit too much wine. I apologize.
He will turn to you as you bump into him, as he holds up a hand, almost expecting that he has to catch a drunk man before he sees that it's you. He goes, "Oh, Kip, I wasn't expecting to see you here tonight."
Oh, Warden, hello. I apologize. I didn't recognize you. Perhaps we can meet and speak later.
I suppose that we can. He looks over to the man next to him. Kind of. Give me a sense motive check.
Sure.
Before I explain how he looks at him.
Oh, dear.
There's gonna be a lot of sense motive checks and perception
How am I
checks
the
tonight,
smart
folks.
one?
Oh, no, I know.
22. He looks at the man next to him almost in deferment. And then the man kind of smiles and tilts his head in kind of amusement. And the man turns bodily to you, Kip. And when he does, you feel something niggling in the back of your head. You feel almost like someone has thrown a lasso around you and is pulling you towards this man as he smiles at you. You're not physically moved or anything like that. You just feel like the sensation of like you're flying into him for a brief moment. As you find yourself kind of like you ever standing still and you find yourself like leaning forward or leaning to the side without ever meaning to do it. You get that certain sense with him.
Can I roll a spellcraft to see if I can determine, is this like a twist of fate? Is this just his gravitas of personality, or is there some shenanigans going on?
No, you're just falling into his dreamy eyes.
Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry.
All right, so...
Oh, Hans Rapad.
Oh. Yes, give me a spellcraft roll.
Oh, dirty 20.
Awesome. So first off, you have detect magic running already.
Yes.
So both him and the warden glow with magic. It is hard to tell where a magic item starts and an aura begins. They are layered in magic.
Can't let Akko near them.
His magic is more palpable than the warden's magic. You didn't see any sort of spell reach out towards you. You certainly didn't see him casting anything, but he may be capable of doing that without you seeing it. But you didn't see anything fly off of him towards you. So you don't think that this was a spell effect that he imposed on you.
He's just...
there is just something about this man that draws you into him. And you haven't felt that in a very, very long time. You can't ever remember feeling this connection, this instant look into their eyes connection with another person.
Shit, you really are falling into his dreamy eyes.
I'm gonna immediately do what I was taught, probably by someone as learned as Warden Duncan, and I'm going to pointedly stare at his forehead and not make direct eye contact. After that, that first lock of gazes, and
Dunkel, by the way, Dunkel.
Yeah. Sorry. But the gravitas guy, I'm just locking eyes with his forehead and not making. I've run into Faye. Not making eye contact, and then I will make a courteous bow and apologize for interrupting their conversation and request to Warden Dunkel, because he's the entity that I know here, if I may take my leave. I don't want to insult him by requesting it to an unknown.
Warren Dunkel, he does take a moment to look again at the man as you make the request to leave. And the man smiles again. You can see his forehead kind of crease with laugh lines.
He probably knows exactly what I'm fucking doing, too.
And he nods, and Dunkel turns back to you. He's like, "You can go, Kip, but we should talk before the evening ends."
Hi, of course. By your leave, masters.
Of course. And he turns back to the man, who turns back to him, and they begin having a conversation once more.
As soon
Dearest.
as soon as I get even with Fee, I'm like, how am I the smart one out of that pairing? How did he not catch what I was laying down?
Perhaps he was too distracted with the company of the other individual that he was keeping to be able to pick up on what you were.
Yeah, you go look in his eyes and tell me what happens. You'd have to go change your fucking underclothes.
I am not stupid, so no thank you. Also, speaking of stupid things, let's go meet some elf nobility. And I'll grab Kip by the hand and start dragging him.
Just as an aside, have I pissed off any of these?
No, you've met Elisara, as a matter of fact.
Good.
All right, we are going to switch across the garden. Alara and Emnos, what are you two up to?
I'm gonna head back inside to the main room.
Okay.
Before you do, I'm going
Yes.
to quietly and draconic say to her, those two cat folk have been listening in on us.
I look at him like, well, yes, of course, this is a party. Everyone's listening in on everyone else. But I don't say that.
Meant surreptitiously.
I give him that look like that's expected. I take a look at the cat folk, and I assume like now I notice that the ear is turned to us.
No, actually, once Fee and Kip left and it seemed like your group was breaking apart, the ear flicked back forward to listen to the person that she's talking to and engaged with.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, I look at him and was like, well, and I say this in Draconic, that's to be expected, but we should probably head back inside.
Possibly. What do we do about the boy?
We keep an eye on the people that he's with right now. We can keep watching him, but I don't know if that's going to... I don't want to split our attention.
Very well. Let's go then.
Yep. So I'll walk back in and walk to the main room.
Okay.
And I will just start over listening conversations, like just as I walk by.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Absolutely.
Can I get one of those as well for as much as I've been walking around inside?
Absolutely. Yep.
$24.
24. Alara.
7.
Okay. Alara, the music is just so good. Like they're playing really well. You find yourself kind of like just vibing really well with this music. It reminds you of home in some small ways. It's just pleasant to hear this type of music once more after years of being in the Adventuring Academy, where the music that you heard was either the headmaster's random assemblies, where he just randomly pulled everybody out of class and made them come listen to him play the banjo on the lawn of the academy, or kids who were practicing to be bards themselves. So you don't really pick up too much as you're walking through.
Okay.
Jules, sorry, just let me for his
Yeah.
roll result. Jules, you hear most of the buzz that's going on here is all about the Crown Prince. Like, almost no one in this room thought that the Crown Prince would be here. They had no idea that he would be here. In that avenue, however, there are a couple of people who do seem to have known that the Crown Prince was going to be here and are talking about how they would love to cement a meeting with him. Most notably is Rowstone. That you all remember, she's from the House of Pirates, from the opposite city from Voon on the Sea of Tranquility, as well as, let me grab this woman, and you will get her name simply because you have also heard it already. Here we go. This woman right here, see and save. Ingrid Vossmarch. She is the historian that you all saw on the guest list. She seems to have been aware the prince was going to be here.
I'll notice Alara coming back in and meet her over near Lord Hagrundy.
He gives you all polite nods.
Lord Hagrundy, how is your evening going so far?
It is absolutely fabulous. Everyone has made themselves kind guests in my home. The drinks have been great, and food will be starting pretty soon, I'm sure, from what Ms. Graves has told me. Such an eclectic group of people I didn't think I would ever get to have in my house is a blessing.
Glad to hear that you have such positive feelings. I may I puzzle you for a moment? I have a curiosity.
Hold on one sec. Wade, was that throat clearing you, or was that Lord Grundy?
That was Lord Hagrundy.
Thank you.
As you start talking, Jules, he holds up a hand to you to make you pause talking as he turns to
Dave.
the woman that he's with. Miss Shanks, if you could excuse me, the heroes, She gives a small bow and looks to you all, and then starts walking away.
Give a very polite nod and bow. So sorry to have interrupted your night. The House Carl Yorin, an interesting individual. What I didn't see his name on the guest list. Was he a recent addition?
Jory. No, he was there.
Okay.
He's not one of the highest of noble houses. He is a house Carl. He doesn't have a higher house as some of the many people here today, but he was on the guest list.
Oh, my apologies. I must have overlooked it. I didn't realize does your estate have a connection with him?
With the Thane of Fort Fowen, we do. We do send regular shipments across the Forked Rivers, so I have a tangential connection with him.
He's a kind man. Enjoyed his company in Fort Fowen recently myself. Was just surprised to see him.
The Thane is a good businessman. The House Carl speaks with his voice, which is why I assume he is here on the Thane's behalf.
Well, everything appears to be in order thus far. Knock on wood. If you have any need of us, obviously we are at your service.
How was the business before? Miss Graves tells me business was good.
Jules will kind of gently rub the bruise. He's covered in a little bit of makeup. A glass half full, you could say. At the same time, half empty. Business is good, but there's still much for us to be on the watch for.
Well, see to it then. If you need anything from me, let me know.
I actually did speak to Miss Graves about it, but perhaps you will know. An ex-guard captain for a noble house, a Mr. Munkter.
You instantly see his face sour. Instantly see his face sour.
I apologize for bringing up what is clearly a tender subject. What, if I may ask, yeah, I'm guessing he was in your employment.
A thief in sheep's clothing. Stole from the house. Got caught stealing from the house. Tossed him into the streets. Tore his reputation asunder for daring to steal from our kindness and generosity that we've shown him over the last 5 years.
What did he steal from you?
A family heirloom.
If I may ask for more specifics, we had an engagement with said individual.
He tosses a look over his shoulders and sees the very full table about 10 feet away from you all. The bardic music is going. People are laughing and talking. He looks back. It was a pendant from my great grandfather.
Sorry to hear that. That is terrible when somebody abuses such a position of trust.
Was this item recovered?
Yes, we recovered it on him, which is how we knew he was the thief. It's a very valuable object. Not to speak too plainly with people about things above their station, but it is one of the linchpins of the capital of the house.
On an out of character note, I assume his statement was very much a shot across the bow of you're touching something too sensitive.
Yeah, first off, he's saying you guys are lowborn compared to him. And then he's also saying that he's talking about an object on which the entire wealth of what you have seen so far rests on as a capital asset.
That is, well, I don't feel we should bother the good Lord. I'll look over at Alara with Munctor's accusations of being framed and whatnot. We should perhaps return to our duties.
Absolutely.
Very good. And he turns and starts walking off.
Does he have any sort of reaction when I mentioned Munctor being framed?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say that. That's my bad.
Yeah, I looked over at Alara and kind of subtly noted, like, oh, let's not trouble him any further with Munctor's accusations of being framed.
Oh, he would have just rolled his eyes and walked away in the middle of that.
I'm gonna roll sense motive anyways, if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
I'd like to do the same, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to have a genuine belief in what he's talking about. He's not acting squirrely or anxious, other than probably the natural anxiety of talking about very sensitive information in a room full of political adversaries. Because in the Game of Thrones, everyone's an adversary, motherfucker, type thing.
Did he say how long ago that happened?
No, all he said was that Munctor was in his employ for 5 years. But he didn't say how long ago the disturbance was.
Okay.
Didn't Munctor say it?
Munctor said 2 years.
Okay.
Okay, and Miss Graves has been there shorter than 2 years.
She's been there for 6 months, according to her.
Okay. Puzzles upon puzzles.
Yeah.
I would point out to you the house Carl from Falstone, as we mentioned a moment ago, is here as well. I was surprised to see him.
Can you point him out to me?
I'll point him out. The gentleman with the beard and the very warm-looking sash. I shared a drink with him in the tavern in Felstone, the one that attempted to remove.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, in Fort Fowen.
yeah,
Fort
yeah.
Fowen.
You recognize
I might-
Jory.
we might.
Can you label him, Wade?
Yeah, absolutely. I apologize. I thought I already had. Do nameplate, vision.
Did we learn anything outside?
I catch Jules up on the whole situation with the drow boy.
Including the horse?
Yes.
There's an old story of a gift horse being full of danger. Irony in that note. Perhaps it is best we keep an eye on that. Why don't we
One
make
of the
ourselves?
servants approaches you all.
Okay.
Looks to Jules. Sir, we were told to get you for the tasting.
Yes, I would like to be there. Alara, I would take my leave if you see.
Absolutely. I'll keep an eye out in here.
And they will escort you to the kitchen, Jules. And that is where we're going to take our break for the evening, everybody. We will be back in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So hang tight, and yeah. And welcome back, everybody. We are back from the break a couple minutes early. We are knee deep in the intrigue. Let me throw Jules real fast back into kitchen. There we go, Jules. All right, Kip, or not Kip, but Akko. We are with you now. Transition over. You're back outside. A lot of stuff been going on. What's up with Akko?
So Akko's just kind of walking over and looking at the bardic troupe. And
Okay.
first off, do I recognize the one with the orange hair?
No,
Is he the same bard from the from
He
Randy
isn't.
Stit Rats?
no.
Dang. Okay.
Good catch though. Same token.
Same token. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, same token, different guy.
Because Akko's also pretty sure that guy's a dragon. So he's also basically going to walk up. I want to walk up in the grass area between where the warden is and the water. He's just going to kind of look at the water and make sure there's nothing creepy going on
Give me a
with the
perception
water.
check.
Because, of course, water is always suspect.
What lies in its murky depths? The answer is little fishies. Looks like a 1 foot deep, a little pond area. Nothing extravagant, nothing weird. You don't see any fish monsters down there ready to eat you or anything like that.
Unless I wanted to be the fish monster in the pond.
Just a couple deep ones, no biggie.
Yeah.
And I just keep looking at the second pond as I just walk up this way.
Okay. Let's see. Jules, you got pulled into doing the taste testing. So the chef will approach you. So you wanted to be here for the tasting, correct?
Yes, where's the royal taste tester?
He will be here in just a moment. But I figured that you may want to know a bit more about how the evening's food will be going out.
Please.
So the easy way of doing this for us is that we are going to be having servants go around to each of the guests, ask them what they want, and then we will plate here, and then be delivering out to everybody else from here.
So just to be clear, the food will be stored here, taken to the guests, specifically to ideally the portion they're looking for, and then from which they will consume and can always ask for more, so on and so forth. So the food will be secured here.
That is correct. It will not be out and about for them to collect from a table like some common rabble, line out the door into the hallway.
Mm. Who are the servants who will be handling this?
All the servants you have seen tonight walking around serving drinks and assisting
Do you
in
know
different
if-
ways.
Do you know if they have been with the house long?
Some of them. Honestly, I could not tell you their pedigree with the house.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the food. Would I say there's about 40 cubic feet worth of food?
Yeah, it's probably easily enough that much. That's a shit ton of food.
Yeah. I'll look at the chef. I'm going to you say some prayers that will ensure that should anyone have tampered with your food, any ill effects will have been dissipated. It's a prayer of purifying food and drink. It should not affect the taste.
All right, I will need to taste the food just to be sure. I'm sure you understand.
Completely. Is this the royal taster walking in?
Yes, this very finely dressed woman walks in. She looks around at the kitchen and then to you. Excuse me, sir. Are you the other tester?
I of a nature, yes. My name is Julian Asareg. I am a high hero monk of the Church of Gillespie, but I am also here to help ensure proper security. I've come to also offer a blessing of purification for the food.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Bailey Silverbeck. I am
Very nice to meet you.
I'm the prince's governor of food, if you will.
How old does this woman look?
She looks like she's probably in her early 20s.
This is a prestigious position. How did you come to such?
My family has served the royal family for many generations.
Would you mind if I ask, and I don't mean to pry or interrupt what we are attempting to do here, what do you taste the food in mass here and then before the prince is specifically served, or is it just the once?
Oh, well, typically I would taste the food in mass for the safety of everyone at the party that we would attend. And then I'll also test again the plating that's given directly to the prince.
Very well.
I'm afraid my stomach's not big enough for every plate.
I can appreciate the weight of what you do, and I'm sure others do as well. You're putting your constitution at risk. I will also let you know I am a healer of good talent, and should heaven forbid anything happen to you, I will be glad to jump to your aid. I will defer to your judgment. I can say this prayer of purification now, or I can wait until you are done.
It'd probably be best for you to do whatever you're going to do first, just so I'm assured that nothing has taken place after I have done my royal duties.
Certainly. I'll cast Purify Food and Drink. I purify up to 40 feet or 40 cubic feet of food.
Yeah, you pretty much purify the entire kitchen and the pantry on top of it. Pretty easy to do.
When I do it, I do actually pull my cloak up and I get down to say the prayer, and I close my eyes to hide any sort of radiance.
Okay. They pretty much everything in the kitchen stops as you do this. The woman watches very carefully as you do what you're doing. The head chef takes a moment to taste test a couple of small things after you're done. It does not taste as if you have compromised the integrity of my food's taste. Mademoiselle, if you would like to do your duty. And she nods, and she reaches up with her right hand and then with her left, and then she rubs a ring that's on her right hand, and then she starts walking around the room.
I watch her very closely in regards to, like, I'll actually walk around with her and watching what she does with, it's very specifically what she's doing with her hands, and also to see, like, if she touches the food beyond using the utensils and everything like that.
Give me a perception check.
I'm going to use my journal reroll.
Okay. Noted. So you watch as she waves her hand over things. Her right hand she waves over. You don't see at any point she actually touches anything with her bare hands. She just moves her hand across things. And then she reaches into her shirt, into her blouse, and she pulls out a chain for a necklace and then keeps pulling it. It seems to be a very long necklace. And then it comes out, and it appears to be a set of utensils on a chain. So you see, like, multiple sized forks and spoons and knives as she then goes around and starts tasting things individually around the room. Like, she walks up to a big vat of pudding that's going to be used for dessert. She has a taste of it. She does this all the way around. All right. She finishes tasting everything. It takes probably about 5 minutes to go through everything and wave her hand around before she returns back into the main room, does the same thing there. This is the most delicious food I've tasted in quite a while, Chef. You are a master of your art. I declare everything here to be pure. She looks back over to you, Jules.
You know, I internal monologue. Jules just doesn't feel like something's right. Chef, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind having a small portion served for me as well? I trust Miss Silverbeck's judgment. Just something. Gillespie is speaking to me. I'd like to test after her, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. Do you want it now?
If you wouldn't mind, yes, I'll have it now. Just a small sampling of each.
Okay. Give me a sense motive check real fast. All right. You look briefly at Bailey, and she catches your eye as you're making this request, but then she looks away over towards one of the people that are cooking and chopping things up. The chef prepares you a small plate with a sampling of various things and hands it over to you.
I'll eat it.
Okay, just noshing it down.
Just piece by piece, give each one about 20, 30 seconds after eating it to feel for any ill effects.
Okay. Do me a favor.
Who did she look over to?
She looked over to this man right here.
Okay. And you needed a favor?
Yes. Do me a favor. Roll a die 20 for me.
A 3.
All right. We are going to shift to Alara. Alara, you're in the grand ballroom. What's going on? What are you up to?
You're shifting it that God. I am just making the rounds. I am walking the perimeter of the ballroom. I am still trying to listen for people. Yeah, because that worked so well for me last time. But yeah, I am just keeping an eye on everyone, seeing if anyone's doing anything weird, seeing if I can hear anything, all of that.
Imnos, you're doing the same thing, it looks like?
I am.
Okay. Both of you give me perception checks.
Can do.
Okay. You all pass through the crowds. You don't pick up any conversation that sets off alarm bells for you. Everything here seems to be very kind of political, talking about trade, talking about how their son just managed to master a piece of arcane magic, or they're basically trying to like glorify themselves to everybody and sort of like talk up about what's going on in their lives. Alara, you do catch Generva watching you as you make the rounds around the room. You catch her eye as she's watching you move through. And Imnos, you also catch this exchange of eye glances between the two of them in that moment.
Yeah, I am definitely keeping an eye on her as well.
She smiles a little bit when you catch her eye.
And I'll offer like small nods of like, oh, yes, I see that you were there. But I definitely know she's there. I'm definitely keeping an eye on her every bit my eyes will dart.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Kip, Akko, and Fee. You all walk through this fairy fire trellis. It's a kaleidoscope of colors. Like someone just took RGB and cranked it up to the max. And you see this gathering of people at this table here in the garden. Obviously, the ogre in the room is very easy to spot here. He is a towering figure. He has 2 chairs to sit in that have been pushed together to hold him. He is wearing a almost like a Roman style toga across his body with a big leather kidney belt binding it all together. Of course, you see Alisara and Fionan, which you instantly recognize from. Obviously, Fee, you recognize them from your past, and Akko and Kip, you recognize them from just meeting them a few days ago at the tavern. The rest of the people don't really jump out at you as people you recognize.
Okay.
Kip stares at the person in the toga and then just narrows his eyes at Fee.
Is everyone at the table talking? Like, is it a round table discussion, or are people talking to each other in smaller pairs?
Looks like smaller pairs right now. It looks like the goblin that you see to the north. He is currently engaged with this woman right here. The Fionan, Alisara, the other gentleman between them and the ogre are having a 4-way conversation currently.
Okay. I am going to move to position myself within Alisara's eyesight so that she would, if she looks straight ahead, she would notice that I'm there and just kind of wait.
Okay.
Politely.
She actually has her back to you, but Fionan is sitting kind of sideways in his chair so he can look down towards where the ogre mage is, and he looks over and catches your eye. He gives you a kind enough smile and waves you forward over to the pair of them.
Okay.
As he taps Alisara on the shoulder and points over to you. Oh, Fee, it's so good to see you.
Yes, it is nice to see you as well.
It's been a lovely gala.
Wonderful. Everything is going well. You have not had any troubles getting through the security?
Oh no, they were quite kind. Nothing as troublesome as some of the grand galas that we've gone to in the past. Security on those is a nightmare. But let me introduce you, Fee. Let me introduce you.
Wonderful.
And she looks back to the other people at the table. Everyone, I would love to meet a dear friend of mine from the court and the Accords. You may or may not have heard her name before, but she is someone I think everyone should get to know a little bit, at least once in their lives. This is Fiada Larethel, and her companion Kip, I believe. She looks questioningly over to Kip.
Hi, milady.
And their companion Akko. They are traveling companions from the Adventuring Academy. Everyone, let's see here. Make sure I get names correct as she starts pointing to people. She starts with the goblin to the north. This is Gibraltar Kaiser. He is a delegate from the Undersenate here at the embassy within the City of Gold. Going clockwise around the table, we have Rwanda Mistpeak. She is a nobleman from Minerstown, yes. And the woman smiles and nods. Here within the southern shield of the Imperium. And I'm not sure if introductions are needed here, but this is Burrowmaster Charth from the Undersenate itself. Is a great honor that we have to have him at our table this evening. And finally, we have Kitlindor Bronwayn, one of our fellow Accord noblemen who has managed to make it here last moment.
I'll just nod to each of them and stop briefly at the Burrowmaster. Burrowmaster, your reputation precedes you. It is wonderful to make your acquaintance.
I am sure that not many expected to have my presence here this evening. I'm glad to cause such a kerfuffle within the Imperium.
I'm sure if nothing else, it created quite a logistical conundrum for our good host.
It made it very difficult for them to expect me to get through their halls. I love seeing them run around like scurry little ants trying to figure out how to accommodate my size.
And I'll reach behind me and hold out my hand to Kip. If you would, dearest, would you like to make your own introduction?
Hey, I suppose pleasantries must be seen. Milady, I am Lord Kiprion Thatcher, fourth in line of the Duchy of Naralaska.
You see Rwanda peek an eyebrow at Kip's introduction. I think I know your family. What is it they do? Scales. They trade in dragon scales, correct?
Aye, that has unfortunately been the family business since time immemorial.
Well, it's an honor to meet such a house here at our evening. I guess that makes sense with your traveling companion. As she looks past you over to Akko.
Aye, that's me mate Akko from the academy. I'll let him make his own introduction.
Is Akko just dumbfounded?
No, I was trying to look up something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Akko will also step forward, but slightly to the side, and just give a big flourish. And Akko si Remarau. I'm not a noble, so I'm not gonna talk about any of that.
Gibraltar, the goblin, he well, we're not all noble here. Some of us just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
With respect, sir, I believe you'd be the luckier of the parties involved then. You can actually enjoy yourself.
There's not quite as much expectation on those of us of the what did you call it here in the Imperium, the lowborn, yes?
There is a fair bit of derision directed towards the common-born, but typically only by folks that forget that this country was built on their backs and hard efforts.
Wisely spoken, youngster. Us in the Undersons, we know the truth of the common man's plight, indeed.
It does also make traveling quite a bit easier, less of a retinue to have to herd about.
And you all are adventurers.
Hey.
Regale us with a story. Tell us of your adventuring deeds.
Well, truth be told, the most storied and accomplished member of our party is sitting back there chewing on her hindquarters.
Everyone's collective heads turn to look past you all down the pathway, and then they notice Luna sitting there lapping water out of the pond before turning to bite at her hind. The wolf.
Aye. She's the most deadly of us.
That's sadly no exaggeration, and I would hope no indication of our individual skills. She is just a force of nature to be reckoned with.
Well, I mean, I've certainly, says the Burrowmaster, I've certainly heard the capabilities of those who have bound with the wild beasts of the wood. I assume one of you claim to be that one's companion?
Aye, that would be me. Luna has been my companion since I was much greener.
Those in the Undersant that are bound to nature rarely take beasts of the wood as their companions. It is refreshing to see one, though I guess it's to be expected here in the higher realm.
What types of companions do they take? I'm not. My faith is more of a topsider faith.
Well, I've only met 3 in my time so far in the Undersant. They are naturally reclusive individuals. I've seen a weasel. I have seen a thoka, if you are familiar with this beast. And I've also seen a young worm. Very powerful companion.
I would imagine.
As they say, stone worms don't grow in the caves. That's just where they're bred.
Well, we shall not take up any more of your time and attention. However, if a situation occurs and you might need our assistance, I will be spending most of this gathering in the garden, so I shan't be too difficult to find.
Well, we don't have adventurers in the Undersenates. We don't parlay them across our borders. As you know, we are very tight-lipped on immigration in my land. But do you all typically do this type of work as adventurers? Is guarding a party what the Imperium finds to be adventurous these days?
To be quite frank, we chose this posting due to the inherent fiscal reward.
Gold clinking is often a bell to be chimed in any direction one wants to travel in, yes?
Aye, and we have to eat.
It also helps to line our pockets before we need to equip ourselves for other fare more removed from the benefit of merchants and the hold.
Gibraltar, the goblin. So when you're not guarding parties, what do you all adventure towards? Are you dragon slayers? I heard of this great crimson beast that flew across the eastern lands not far ago. Were you involved in any of that?
We did. We spotted that crimson beast.
Marvelous!
from a ship sailing up the river. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
At this moment, we mostly go where the wind blows us. We haven't quite gotten to the wealth and renown where we are as picky with the types of contracts that we take. However, we did discover a previously unknown temple to a forgotten paragon just before arriving in this town.
A forgotten paragon? What would that be?
I'll pull out the sketch of the sigil, Wade, and hand it. Well, I'll hand it to Fionan since I'm standing right behind him, and he can pass it.
He takes it and he looks it over for a moment and shows it to Alisara before it starts making the rounds around the table. Gibraltar looks at it for just a moment, a little curious, but not very. Rwanda takes it and just immediately hands it off to the Burrowmaster. He takes it very delicately with his very large hand as he reaches in and grabs it, and he looks it over. Give me perception checks real fast.
Sure. And as they're passing it around, Wade, I'll just kind of explain, like, I was hoping to take it to, when we're in the Accords again, to some of the Grove Masters who have, been around the world many more times than I have, and might even have recollection of when this paragon was paid attention to. But for us and those traveling with us, it is beyond our knowledge.
Give me 1 second here. I need to pull up some notes. I'll ask everyone's patience for a second. Where's that fucking file?
Do you mean to tell me you don't have everything written out longhand in a notebook? Am I doing this wrong, Wade?
I put everything in notepad files, and then I put them into the wrong folders. So yes, you're doing it wrong compared to me, which is probably the correct way to do it that you're doing.
While we wait,
Fee, you really left out the best part of that story about the tomb.
while we wait for Wade to find that, hey Dave,
Yes.
how about a dad joke?
Is the best part the skeleton worm? Because
Yes, the best part is
Okay.
the bone naga with the screaming psychic
bone naga.
miasma.
I mean, you can add the bone naga. Just tell the goblin about the bone naga.
I'm at that. This is in character. I am telling them about the bone naga.
Oh, okay.
Yes, tell us about the bone naga.
Yeah, Fee, tell them about the bone naga, the terrifying bone naga.
I actually was not fighting the bone naga. I was fighting other things and trying to keep the rest of you alive with my healing and trying to tell Luna that she needed to chew the other bone, not the bone that she was,
Oh, that's right,
everything.
Luna. Luna, tell them about the bone naga. We fought the bone naga together.
I'll turn around and tell Luna to speak.
They each so let me look at these perception checks real fast. I asked for that first.
Not good.
13, 16, and 7. Fee, you notice that as the Burrowmaster hands the piece of paper over to Kitlindor, when Kitlindor takes it, you watch him pull his hand away from the piece of paper, almost like it hurt him to touch it for a moment. And then his hand settles back over it. Eventually, the paper is handed back over to Kip. Kip, when you get handed back to you, the paper feels a little damp.
Detect magic?
So
I want to see if somebody scribed runes on this.
give me a will save, please.
Absolutely.
I mean, Kip just isn't blinded automatically by the Burrowmaster.
I'm looking at
Oh.
the paper. I'm smart.
Well, it's a
Okay.
cone, so
Joke's on you.
Hey, lucky coin. I'm going to re-roll.
okay.
Don't reroll lower.
Okay.
Okay. 20 will save. So yes, as you flicker your vision over to your magic sense, it's impossible for you not to catch the Burrowmaster within your cone.
Kinda
And
hoping I did.
for a moment, it's like looking at the sun and passing, as you flinch instinctively away from his person. Everyone here has some sort of magic on them.
Mhm.
The paper itself, however, no magic on it at all.
Okay.
It's just a little damp in the bottom right-hand corner of it.
What would be the appropriate skill to venture a guess as to what the cause of that was? I can lick it and see if it's poisoned.
Yeah, it really depends on what you're doing to try to determine what the cause was. Like, you could, like, it really depends on your methodology is what you would roll.
I'm gonna give Akko a look.
Oh, actually, Wade.
Yep.
So since I saw like Kitlindor like kind of flinch at the paper,
Yep.
does it look like he's sweating or flushed? Like,
No.
did he have like any? Okay.
Nope. He touched the paper, pretty much in that same part where it's damp, and then pulled his hand away really quickly with a
Okay.
flinch, and then put his hand back there.
I'm gonna voice a suspicion, Wade. You tell me if I have the ability to discern whether or not I have the information to even venture that guess.
Okay.
Ectoplasm?
I mean, you would be familiar with ghosts. The idea of a ghost is not crazy, and ectoplasm is kind of a concept for ghosts.
Well, an ectoplasmic simulacrum is what I'm thinking.
I mean, those two words don't go together.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I was thinking Ghost Walk, where you could possess ectoplasm puppets.
Yeah, but that, well, I mean, I guess simulacrum in the greater concept of what a simulacrum is versus just the spell of simulacrum
Oh,
is kind
yeah.
of where I'm thinking of and taking that. You don't think it's ectoplasmic in nature because you would be getting some sort of magic off of it from a magical being like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to pass the paper to Akko and then give him a look and then specifically look at the corner that's damp.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna address the rest of the table. I don't suppose any of you have seen that symbol before or might be familiar with its provenance.
Let's see. Let's make some rolls here. Drop that one. And, they all shake their heads in the negative. You don't get the feeling that any of them here are big sort of religious scholars.
Okay. Do the elves look like, I know Alisar is around my age. Do the other two elves look around my age as well? Older?
Older, yes. Fionan's probably just a few years older than you and Alisara. Kitlindor is probably at least 100 years older than the both of you.
Okay. But not necessarily old enough that he would have been alive when this was an actual followed Paragon.
He very well could have been alive when it was a followed Paragon, but that doesn't mean that he knows about all the different human Paragons. It's kind of like asking Wade about the Hindu pantheon. Like, I know Ganesh, but I don't know all of them.
Okay.
What am I supposed to be doing with this piece of paper?
You're supposed to be giving it back to me.
Oh. I hand it back to Fee.
I'll just put it back in my journal and back into my hip bag.
Okay. Alisara looks over to you all. There are a few other people from the Accords who came. I don't think that you may know them, Fee, but they were in the bigger dining hall. If you wanted to introduce some of our countrymen.
That would be wonderful. Would it be acceptable for me to introduce myself, or should I wait for one of you to make an introduction for me? I do not have any standing beyond that of my father to stand upon here.
Oh no, I understand, but I don't think you're here in the name of your father. So I think you'd be okay introducing yourself.
Wonderful. Could you give me general descriptions of who to look for?
Yes. Let's see. The best one that you're gonna notice right away would probably be. Load up. Come on, roll 20. Don't fuck around with me here. I'm lagging on roll 20. Sorry, everyone.
You're fine.
Way too many tokens on the board, Wade.
There's a couple.
You're looking for Alejandra Vanesh. She's wearing a large ornamental headpiece crafted from silver. Very easy to see. I'm actually very surprised that her and Kitlindor here were able to join us. They both represent such great houses in the Accords. I didn't think that the Gala was going to quite warrant such prestige after our initial setting off.
Perhaps if you spoke to anyone after I gave you the greater information about who would be in attendance, Her Majesty might have decided to send additional representatives.
She nods a little. Kitlindor, sitting there, he turns a little bit and looks at you two. This is pretty much exactly what happened. The delegation learned that the affair was going to become a little bit more than what it was projected to be, and so we wanted to make sure that the Accords were represented with the same esteem as the Burrowmaster here decided to give to the Imperium. We didn't want to be left out, as it were.
And I'll curtsy to him and just with a wink, just say, glad I could do my service to the Accords, and if it would be all right, I will take my leave and try to make my introductions elsewhere.
Of course, Fiada. Have yourself a good evening.
You as well.
Alisara gives you like a little wave, and Theoden gives you a nod as they all turn back to continue their conversations.
Kip will do a courtly bow and turn.
All right, Luna.
Akko gives
Luna?
a flourish, does one more very just absolutely wondrous glance at the Burrowmaster, and then walks away and like just grabs a piece of wood off the ground and starts like making a little figure of the Burrowmaster.
Okay.
Luna, you stay here. Stay. Keep an eye on our guests. If there is trouble, come and get me, and I'll point to the ballroom where I'm gonna start walking to.
Okay. She looks at you with her tongue hanging out, and then she sits down.
All right.
At this point, food is starting to be served around. Servants walk around asking people what they would like to eat, and then plates are brought to people in their respective locations. There's also at this point that the bardic troupe starts coming together inside the main ballroom, and they start putting on a show for everybody. For those of you who have it, roll me lore or knowledge local.
Am I there yet, Wade? Or
Yeah, you're out.
I still,
You're out.
Okay, I did have one more thing I wanted to do in the kitchen before I leave, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
Before I leave, I will look to all of the servants and say I appreciate the labor you all are doing. It is very important to me. My power to you. See if any of them notice or react to the traditional Gillespie greeting.
One of them returns it back to you.
Is it the one that she looked at?
No, it's this one right here.
Okay. And then I'll follow Bailey back out.
Okay. She'll lead you back to the ballroom. All right, let's see here real fast.
Oh shit, Bailey Silverback's hot. I'm saying that out of character, clearly.
You just watch her walk through the ballroom, like, damn, that's a fine piece.
Damn it! I wish we had the yes. Oh yes,
Amazing.
you did. Reaction here.
No one's that straight.
All right, let's see. Who is outside currently?
Yo.
All right, Kip, you are outside.
Kip. Luna.
Kip and Luna. Let's.
And Featherfuck.
Give me perception for you and Featherfuck, Kip.
Okay. I will roll 2 and then tell you what his adjusted roll is.
Okay.
Because he has a feat that I believe gives him a bonus.
While you're rolling that, for the knowledge local people, Imnos, Akko, or not, yeah, Imnos and Akko, you two have, as this bardic troop starts going, you start recognizing some of the things that they're doing, and you piece it together to a bardic troop that you've heard of before, known as the Spelljammers. They specifically do death-defying, arcane dances, where they hurl magic at each other and then seem to absorb the magic into themselves. That's why you've heard of them before, because it's a pretty well-known troop because of this very weird ability that all the members are reported to have, where they can catch a spell and absorb it into their body. So they start putting on this dance with each other as they are hurling little orbs of fire and ice at each other. They're shooting rays at one another. But every single time a spell starts incoming to one of them, their hand comes up, touches the spell, and their hands alight with this etheric flame. And the spell gets absorbed into their body before they do a backflip or a cartwheel, jump over each other, and continue doing this very intricate, deadly dance. And you know it's deadly because if any of them messed up what they were doing, they would probably die at any given moment. So either they are incredibly good at what they're doing, incredibly well rehearsed, or both.
Spellcraft, trying to figure out what they're doing?
You can give me a knowledge arcana roll.
Oh, even better. Oh, of course, it's a 1.
Well, I mean, no critical failures on skill checks in 3.5. You've heard of various absorption powers before, Akko. There's lots of different monsters that have some sort of magical absorption to them. Like an innate spell resistance is also another way it could look. But the flames that they're producing when they catch it, they all do the same thing. They all produce this etheric flame around their hand when it meets the spell. You don't know what that's from, but you're sure there's some sort of innate resistance they all seem to have. But when you look at them, that doesn't really line up well with their races, because their races don't look like people or races that are known for having natural spell resistances. Like it doesn't jive with that sort of thing.
Right.
But nonetheless, they are doing it somehow. Kip.
Yes, sir.
We've got 11.
18 for the Raven.
18 for the Raven. Okay. So the Raven is currently perched on top of the Agrundi estate. And he sends you a feeling of something being wrong. You've never really felt this emote from him before through the empathic bond. It's very confusing. And also very startled at the same time. It's a weird admixture of emotions that happen all at once from the bird.
Okay.
And as you feel that, what do you do? What's your immediate response to that?
I am going to look first towards the Drow Child, and then if nothing else seems to be suspicious there, around and see if that's enough to prompt a second check.
So you look at the Drow Child first. Okay.
Yes.
So there won't need to be a second check. You look towards where the Drow Child and the others have been for the majority of the event. You can kind of see them. You're pretty far away at this stage from where they are. But you can see figures in the trellis bushes, roughly where they were before. So you think that they are still there. But as you're trying to look very closely at where they are over there, there is a ripple in your peripheral of your magic sense. As you turn your head to the gazebo, a field of darkness drapes across the gazebo, as a globe of pure darkness surrounds the gazebo and the people that are on it.
Do I see through it with my dark vision?
You do not. And with that, we are going to go into initiative.
Oh boy.
I'm going to have everyone roll initiative. Some of you aren't aware of anything going, so it'll depend on what happens from people who are aware, making other people aware in a very dominoed style effect that's going to go on here. But I just want to go ahead and get your initiative on the board.
Dave, we called it the gazebo. It's the bad guy.
It's the gazebo.
Wade, the initiative button disappeared for me on Roll20.
Let me pull up your sheet real fast. See if I can roll
We're
it.
gonna have to have Fee do everything tonight. She's the only one with hot dice.
It was on top of the toolbar for me, and now it's gone.
Character sheet.
Click it on your character sheet under your
Oh.
HP.
Holy
That's true.
shit! Our initiatives are all garbage today.
Yeah.
I mean, mine isn't.
yeah,
Oh, I thought it said you rolled a 2.
I can't possibly roll a 2. I clicked the initiative button so I could edit what I actually rolled.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
that's way better.
hard rolled mine because
That's way better. I like
yeah,
that
I have
more.
a +3 to initiative. There's no, I can't.
I have a +3 to initiative also. That's
I
why I
rolled a
go
2.
on 4. Oh.
I got a 2. I rolled a 1. And just kill me, I
Alright.
guess.
All right, we got everyone on there that needs to be on there right now. Do some descending order. All right.
Oh, hey, Wade. By the way,
Yes.
are there any special stats to the full plate? Because we never actually got that. I was put in it, and then game ended last time.
No, I mean it's just standard full plate.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing special about the full plate.
Yeah, I think you just said it was pretty.
I'm sorry, it's masterwork full plate. I should say that. I guess that's
Oh,
important.
the initiative button's back.
All right, we've got everyone's initiative. Let me draw out the darkness real fast. There we go. Everything within the black border is dark, and you cannot see anything in there. Switch everything over to that layer. There we go. All right, Fee, you are walking into the grand dining hall. Very nice. There's plates of finger foods and drinks here. You immediately see a woman with a silver headpiece, exactly as Alisara described to you.
Okay. More importantly, does my dog start barking? Does my wolf?
Yes, actually, since
Or
she
does
does
she-
go on your turn, you immediately give me a perception. You give me a perception because there is
Alright.
still noise inside of here, walls.
I mean, I
See if
did
you-
also tell her to run and come and get me, but I figured she would also make noise.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna make noise. Okay, you. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. She sprints past Kip and pushes through the door and runs in here and is barking wildly. You hear her.
All right. I will turn and make a curtsy to the people that I was just walking up to talk to. Another time, I'm afraid, and I will go running out. Like, I will like drop all courtly decorum and just go booking it out the door.
Okay. As soon as you get out the door, you see this globe of pure blackness covering over the section of the garden. Completely impenetrable for you to be able to see through it with your current vision.
All right. In that case, I am going to cast. I'm going to cast. Where's my PHP? I'm going to cast whatever my armor spell is. I'm going to buff myself, Wade.
Dark skin.
Okay. Oh, bark
Thank
skin.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Bark Skin on myself.
All right. Kip, you're up.
Quick question of clarification. Luna comes into the building barking like crazy.
Yep.
Would that
When we
make
get
it
to your
not make us
turn-
aware?
When you get to your turn, I'll have you roll a perception check to see if you hear it over the music.
Okay.
Wade, can I have a quick social soliloquy?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Can I speak and still act?
You can speak very briefly. This is 6 seconds.
I just quick turn to Fee. I think this is a distraction, and then run into the shadow in the direction that I think Dunkel is.
Okay, so you're running into the darkness.
Yes.
Okay, so you rush into it. Give me a die 100 roll.
Why isn't intuit direction still a skill? $37.
All right, give me a reflex save.
Okay. I fell off the bridge, didn't I?
No. You do, however, trip on one of the stairs going up to the gazebo and fall onto the stairs. And you will be prone, and that's how you will be... You still have a standard action.
I've got a luck coin.
Oh, you do?
I got 2.
You will still be falling flat on your face with that roll.
Maybe we should use a fate die.
Yeah. This is important.
I agree.
I'm going to use a D8.
Okay, D8. Yeah. 8, boom.
18.
All right, you managed to catch yourself on the railing real fast before slamming into the stairway. So you're
Gotcha.
still on your feet.
Once I'm inside the darkness, does my dark vision work at all?
No, it does not.
Holy shit! I have no idea what this is then.
You do hear Dunkel talking, as well as the man that he was with, as they're exchanging, like, what is this? What is happening? Who would be this foolish?
Warden, I'm several steps behind you.
All right, next up, Akko. Give me a perception check, Akko. Akko, you do not hear Luna barking. There's a party going on. People are talking, music is going, the Spelljammers are doing their death-defying shit.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious of the Spelljammers, so I think I'm just going to kind of make my way around the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and just sort of wander towards Hymnos.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
Although I can see out the windows. No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, with your perception check, with there being windows, you're focused on the Spelljammers.
I'm focusing on the Spelljammers, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other side of this coin. Jules, perception, please. Jules, you not only hear the faint barking of Luna, which you have not heard at any point this evening, but you also see the globe of darkness out the window. You hear her bark, and you turn to the window because you last remember them being outside, and you see this giant globe of darkness outside.
I grab Alara by the shoulder and say, "The gazebo, look." And I will walk here and make eye contact with this guard. There's something going on outside. I think it is best that you secure the prince.
His eyes lock on you in acknowledgement, and when he gets to act, he will act.
Okay. And I will also approach Jory.
Okay.
And say, "You may not remember me. We shared a drink, but there's some sort of commotion outside. I recommend you go find somewhere safe."
Okay.
And then I'll go on high alert, watching for anything coming into the hall.
Hymnos.
Oh boy. Well, I presume I heard what Jules just said. Or do you want perception from me as well?
I do want perception from you. You do hear what Jules says. It's going to give you a plus modifier on this that I'll add. Let's see. You don't hear Luna barking, but when when Jules goes on like this alert and starts kind of pointing at people and directing a little bit, you saw him look over his shoulder outside, and so you do the same thing, and you see this globe of darkness outside.
Kind of take stock of the room here, and I think I'll head northward. Let's see. Is this table covered in things? Actually, I can just move through Akko's square. It's not a big deal.
Flowers are still standing.
Some glasses and some plates, nothing like terrible.
I'll double move. Yeah, I'll just see what the story is with the rest of the guests up here, so make sure everyone's okay.
Okay.
And I'll just sort of
The people
be
in
on
this room
high
are
alert.
looking. The people in this room are looking back towards the garden area, because that's now that you're getting closer, you hear Luna barking wildly, and so they're looking towards where Luna probably is in the adjacent room. Alara, perception check, please.
Including what anything from what the fact that Jules specifically said look that way at the
There
window that I am
isn't-
standing right next to.
There is an invisible modifier. There's also directions that matter here, so you will
Okay.
more than likely see it, but I still need a roll.
Okay.
You see the globe of darkness.
Okay, excellent. Windows count as line of sight, right?
Yeah, you can see
Alright.
through them.
Excellent. I can teleport through them.
You can see through them, so absolutely you can.
Oh yeah.
So, oh shit, did I just... Okay, no. There we go.
You cannot teleport into the darkness itself.
I actually couldn't see where the darkness was based on where the lines were, so I just moved myself next to Kip. So, I guess I'll teleport myself to... Oh god, where was I?
This is okay. I think you could probably hit that.
What's your distance, Katie?
I don't
You
know.
were
off
right
the-
here.
I know, yeah. No, I wasn't there. I was where I could see.
You were right
Kip,
where
so-
I'm. You were right here. Like in this square right here.
I couldn't have been in that square because I was able to see Kip.
Well, that's
think
the
I was
square
in
I'm
this
saying
square.
that you were in, unless you know what square you were in.
I
That's what
know
square
that I
can
could
see.
see. I know I could see Kip. That is what I am saying. I know I could see Kip. If I am in this square, I cannot see
It might have
Kip.
been this one.
All right.
Yes, I can see Kip from there.
All right. So, what's your distance? Where are you going?
I'm going. Oh god, how do I see distance again?
You put a ruler out, but if you just like, I've got a ruler out for you. If you just want to tell me how far you can go.
I'm not sure how far I can go. Give me a second. I have to look it up.
Also, wait, I think you're remembering where Jules was. I think she's right on her position.
Okay, John, is it 500 feet? Am I remembering that right?
It's shorter range than the real one, isn't it?
I know I gotta look.
It's 30 feet. 30 feet within line of sight.
Yes.
It is 30 feet within line of sight. So
So you can go right here, anywhere like within these kind of squares.
all right. Then I will go right here. Oh god damn! Put ruler away. Oh,
Right here. There you go.
there.
All right. Standard action.
there's not much I can do right now, so I'm just going to detect evil around me.
Okay.
Like look towards the globe of darkness. I know I won't be able to really see anything, but
What's the range of your detect evil?
$60 feet.
Okay, got it. All right. B, you're up.
So I don't detect anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing that
thank
you can see.
Okay.
Four, 5. I am going to go up here. Back to where I was.
Okay. You see this table of people looking towards this globe of darkness. Their eyebrows are kind of raised in confusion. They're not quite sure what to make of what's going on, whether or not it might be part of the party or if there's something actually happening. They're just kind of evaluating right now.
I'll just turn and look at them, and with kind of like the most like gallows humor voice I can, be like, "Oh, good, you've noticed. This isn't planned. This isn't planned. We've got a situation."
They all push their chairs back and stand up. Anything else you'd like to do?
Ba, 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 ba. No.
Okay. All right. Things in the darkness. First off, Kip, something reaches out and grabs you.
Okay.
You feel hands grab onto your shirt, and it feels good. Like they feel
Oh
warm.
no!
They feel nice. They feel like they
Daddy
belong
found me.
there. Like
Daddy
you're like,
found me.
like those hands belong there. I feel right being held by those hands.
Sorry,
It just
Daddy,
feels comfortable.
sorry. Hold me, Daddy.
And then you hear a voice, and you recognize the voice as the man who was with Dunkel. And he says, "Get me out of here, brother." And then you start feeling him kind of pull and tug with you as if he's trying to, at the same time, move away but bring you with him. Do you want to follow where this thing is pulling you?
Yes, but I'm going, since I know where he was previously, I'm going to first reach out and attempt to grab Dunkel.
All right. Give me a melee touch attack. Blindness cover.
Touch attack.
Uncle's a mage, his touch AC is real low.
Come on, dice. Fuck! Inspiration number 1.
Okay.
Really?
All right. Anything else you're looking to do this before I tell you the result?
Inspiration number 2. Thank you, all of Wade's subscribers. I have a feeling this is way more important than I know it is, so I'm going all out.
Okay.
This would not be possible without viewers like you.
That's true. This
All right,
program
so
was...
you got 19 touch AC currently.
I would
Anything
like-
else you wish to do?
I would like to grab the happy little warden and allow myself to be led away by Daddy.
All right. Don't
Don't look at me like that, John.
So nothing else you're looking to do to augment your role.
I can't do anything because I can't read from my scrolls in total darkness, and I can't use any of my abilities unless I can see. So,
All right. So
I will
you-
shout out. I will shout out. Dunkel, take my hand.
Okay. You shout that out. You reach out to try and grab him where you know that he was, and you catch nothing but air as you start getting led away from this location. That this guy here, and then I'm going to move you because he's also moving you up to here. Let me make this guy visible.
I have an assumption, Wade, but I don't know if you want me to shout it or leave it to mystery.
I would leave it to yourself unless it's something that you are shouting in game in character.
Oh God, no. No.
So you all step out of the darkness and he pulls you along with him. Even when you get out of the darkness, he keeps his hands on you. Like his left hand is like now bunched at your shoulder, as he's holding on to you as you guys are getting out of the darkness.
Okay.
He casts a gaze back towards the darkness, but ultimately is clearly not wanting to be in there. Then thing happened number 2. Need that die. I'm gonna do that. All right, Kip, it's your turn.
I just took my turn.
No, he did your turn. Like he pulled you out of the darkness. You didn't use your actions. He pulled you out.
I'll turn and look at him. Who the fuck are you?
My name is Moonward, but that's not going to mean anything to you right now. Probably something to talk about after we figure out what that is from, as he points back towards the darkness.
There's a drow on the other side in the spiral.
Did you see it leave the darkness?
No, but I know he was seeking a way into this party.
Find him, disrupt him.
Do my best. Can I shout out? Can I still shout out 2 words and end my turn?
Sure.
I'll just shout out at the top of my lungs, "The boy!" And hope somebody hears me and understands.
All right.
I'm not far from you.
Yep.
You're going to hear that. You're easily within listening. Everyone's pretty quiet out here right now, so Alara, you would also hear that.
Wait,
I don't see anybody else on the outside.
Wait, I've done a lot of speaking, so it's completely okay if not, but can I make a knowledge arcana to see if I can identify that as something that drow can do natively?
Yeah, go ahead, roll knowledge arcana.
Because I want to make sure I wasn't just talking meta out of my ass.
So you know that that drow have the power to summon globes of darkness. Like that is something innate into their being that they can just make happen. Though one small thing does 1 second actually.
Shit's getting tense.
One thing that jumps out you, however, is the size of this darkness. It is
it's
much
large.
bigger than the regular spell of darkness that drow typically emulate. So it must have been augmented in some sort of way, you think? You're just not quite sure how or with what. There's a lot of different things that can do it. All right, Akko, you're up.
All right. Do I get any additional perception checks?
Yeah, now that everyone's moving around and like looking out the window at this point, you know something's going on out in the garden.
Let's see. Alara popped, and Imnos ran out the door. Jules is still in here. I'm still suspicious of the Spelljammers. So, because it's weird, they shouldn't be able to do the things that they're doing. So, I guess moving double speed it's not running, right? It's basically just kind of like hustling.
That is correct.
Running should be 4 times your speed, or 3 if you're carrying a heavy load.
Right, but
And
running
it has
would
to be in a straight line.
running would sort of alert everybody in the room if there's something going on, but sort of just hustling around the room.
Like a double move.
Like power walking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
You're mall walking. You could shout, "Ooh, hors d'oeuvres," and power walk away.
Okay, basically, I'm just gonna do just a double move and try not to look like I'm going anywhere too quickly, and just
Okay.
sort of move this way, heading for this door.
All right. All right. Anything else you're trying to do?
No, that'd be my full action.
Okay. 1 second. I'm just grabbing something.
Actually, I'm gonna look at Jules, and I'm just gonna flex my arms real quick and just point at the door. I'm intending
Jules
to go out in the hallway and cast more spells.
Yeah, Jules, with everything going on, you kind of pick up what he's laying down for you. It's pretty easy considering what's happening right now. All right. Jules, you're up.
What are the Royal Guards doing, and how does Jory react?
So they are Jory and his escort are starting to make their way out. He recognized you. The Royal Guards they're looking towards the window, and then they fall back over to the prince. They pull both of these women away from him and push them back as they move right up next to him. These guys are going to, yeah, that's how they react. That's what you see.
Are any other guests doing anything?
Most of them are looking out the window at sort of what they can kind of see from where they are. Lord Grundy is looking, and he has his hand on the top of his head as he's just like, what is happening in my gala? And he looks at guards. What is happening?
Is there anybody who is a guest who is looks like they're aware of what's going on, but isn't looking out the window? So is there
First
anybody
perception.
who isn't distracted?
First perception.
14.
Sense motive.
Actually, I would like to use a fate. Okay, yeah, I'll sense motive.
Okay.
I would like to use a fate die.
Okay.
Everybody cool with that? I want to use the D10.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds good to me. Go for it.
18.
Nice.
All right. D10 is now locked. Awesome. You do not see anyone matching what you're trying to find right now. The
Okay.
Spelljammers are coming to a stop abruptly when Lord Hagrundi calls for guards. Clearly, their momentum is sort of stopped as people aren't paying attention to them anymore. But nothing feels wrong about people's reactions right now.
Okay. I am going to walk up to Akko and put my hand on your shoulder. May you endure like a bear, and I will cast Bear's Endurance on you.
Woo!
So gain +4 enhancement bonus to Constitution.
All right. Imnos.
I don't see anything bizarre going on in here yet, do I?
No?
Okay.
People are adjusting their seats, trying to look out the door that's still slightly ajar. They're staying up when the guards are called, but so far no one's like panicking and running around or doing anything weird.
Alrighty. I just see darkness out there.
Yep.
And who's in this room?
You just see two guests. They've just been sort of chilling out in this nice little sitting room.
They're not the representatives from the Accord that I met. They're
No.
others. Okay.
Just random people.
I guess I'll ask. Have you seen anything strange aside from what's going on out there?
They look at each other and then back to you. No, just the darkness outside. Seems the party's taking a turn.
Hopefully we'll have it taken care of soon.
Please.
Thank you for your patience.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Just keep looking around for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Alara?
Are these cat folk just like standing here?
Yeah, they're just kind of like looking at the darkness. Like the guard is standing there kind of mouth agape looking at the darkness. He's not sure what to do. These two catfolk are just staring at it. They don't know what to do. They don't know if this is a spectacle of the party or what's going on right now. So they're just kind of locked in indecision.
So I'm gonna look at them and be like, "This is not part of the party. This is not part of the entertainment."
The female jaguar woman looks at you and goes, "Noted." They're clearly getting ready to get the fuck out.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, let me turn that off. I'm gonna start moving. Since I'm not taking any actions besides just trying to move to the other side. Can I take a double move?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thank you.
All right. Fee.
Kip, where's Dunkel?
Can I respond, Wade?
Can he shake his head?
Yeah, you can make
Or-
like a motion, but you can't speak.
I'll point towards the darkness.
All right. In that case, I'll turn and look at the table. There is a warden of the hold trapped inside. Can anyone dispel this? And I'll point at the cloud, the darkness.
The burrowmaster nods in return.
That's who I'm looking at, Wade.
He nods. Let me add him
In
as
that
he's gonna
case, yeah. In that
combative.
case, since I'm sure, yeah, he's gonna enter combat. I'm basically going to Luna and I are basically going to stand guard of him.
Okay.
Not that I don't think he can't handle his own, but it's what I'm hired to do.
He did not roll great, but should be okay. All right. All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'm Luna and I are basically going on guard for the Burrowmaster in case anything
Gotcha.
decides to get hinky.
All right. So as he pushes off of the double chairs that he's sitting in, you all watch as the shadowy globe starts to flicker. And then light seems to pour in from the fairy lights that are in the gazebo, start pouring out of the gazebo as the light from the house starts pouring into it. As you start being able to see inside as the darkness shimmers and falls away. In its place, you see the following people. And as that happens, Dunkel reaches into his robes and he pulls out a scroll and begins to unfurl it. Kip, give me a perception check, please.
Yes, sir. Holy crap! You're muted, Wade.
I'm sorry, Mnos, don't roll that. You don't have line of sight. I apologize.
No worries.
19, Kip. Kip, you recognize that scroll. That is the scroll that you saw get plucked out of the Star Chaser base and get carried away before it vanished from your sight. As Dunkel unfurls it in front of him, and arcane glyphs begin to appear surrounding him. First 1, then 2, then 3, until finally there are 8 runic schemes surrounding him,
Don't like this at all.
and you all feel the earth buckle and tremor and warp around you. I need everyone to give me a reflex save.
Including the people inside.
Everyone give me a reflex save.
I'm really good at these.
Stellar job. All right, we got
Jules, thanks for the extra hit points.
9. So Mnos
I have a feeling-
23.
I have a feeling he's really going to bring the house down at this party.
Ooh, boy.
Okay.
There's
Anyone
your dad
who
joke, Kip.
Yeah. Anyone who rolled below a 22 falls to the ground prone.
Oh, shit.
As the earth caves and earthquakes tremor across the entire estate. The walls of the Hagrundi estate buckle in certain places. Pillars inside fall over as the top floors buckle down and implode into the middle of the rooms around you all. Dust is immediately thrown up from the stones bashing as you hear the tectonic activity happening around you as holes form from collapsing stonework into the ground. And let me shift the map. You guys are gonna have to replace your tokens to where they are on the new map. It's the same Hagrundi map, just a little different. So please memorize where your tokens are and then put them back to where they're supposed to be. Everyone good?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Away we go.
Oh,
Please
shit.
move your tokens to where they are supposed to be right now.
Oh, I'm in a lovely spot.
If your token is overlapping another token, let me know and I will move tokens out of the way and reposition them.
Oh, fuck.
That's not right.
Oh,
fuck.
If your token is in a hole, please let me know immediately.
I missed a hole by like 5 feet, so I'm happy.
Oh no, the cat folk!
Don't worry, they always land on their feet.
Yeah, they're fine.
Let's see, is everyone where they're supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Not
pretend
yet.
it's a shopping bag. They're fine.
One second. I can't
Oh, sure.
see very well.
Yeah. There you go, I moved you over there.
Oh, Wade.
Is that in your way?
I'm in a hole.
That's bad.
Oh
All right.
no.
I was like right. I think,
No,
like,
you were right here. You were standing next to Luna, right here by the pond.
Give me
Hold on
one
just
second.
a
I'm going to go back to the other map real fast and just double check. Waterway. So you're catty corner to the corner of the building.
Yes, I was like directly diagonal catty corner
Well,
to it.
looks like you're halfway in a hole, at least.
No, there's a table there.
No, I believe that you are right here, actually.
Okay.
Based on the map I'm looking at, where the walls are positioned, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where you were. So that's going to put this person
Oh no, don't like this.
right.
Oh.
We'll put them right there. All right, and again, those of you that failed the reflex save are prone on the ground. as the continuing earth shakes and rumbles around you as people crawl up out of these holes, levitating up past the stonework and setting down the ground, throwing these troglodytes down on the ground as they lose their levitation. And you watch as these great hooked claws slam into the ground, pulling themselves up as the earthquakes finally subside. And that's where we're going to pick up next week on Realms of Faroff.
Hey, Wade.
Yes.
Quick thing. I didn't use my my reroll from my last week's thing. Can I replace the D10 that was used?
Absolutely, you can.
With that reroll?
So
Thank you.
We will free up the D10. There we go.
Claw back the dice.
I'm gonna try to kill my master, guys.
Well,
A curse
welcome.
is sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Welcome to the Solstice Gala.
Wow, this took a turn.
If those
We're
are
not getting-
if those are slots, Wade, next time I see you, I'm slapping you.
That's what
We're
I
not-
thought as soon as they popped out. I was like, those
We're not-
tokens can't be right.
We're not getting paid enough for this shit, guys.
No, those look like Umber Hulks to me.
Oh, the big ones will
No,
be the
that's-
small ones.
Oh yeah,
Small
these
ones.
guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone who watched tonight, thank you so much for joining us. We are here every Thursday night for Realms of Far Off. At least we try to be. Please join us on Tuesday next week for more Dragon Horde. And have a great night, and we'll continue to a raid.
Good night, everybody.
Yay, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, friends.
No,
One second.
Wade.
There we go.